This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
At Itawamba Community College, your education is our top priority. With a 20-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio, you will get the help that you need from your instructors. With 3 locations in Fulton, Tupelo, and Belden, ICC offers classes that will prepare you to enter almost any job field of your choice. Learn more about Wallet Hub's #1 community college in Mississippi and the 25th best in the country by visiting iccms.edu or apply online at apply.iccms.edu. Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
Everyone has a unique story to tell. Maybe your story has you performing your new song in front of a crowd, getting to play your favorite sport, or enjoying a horseback ride in the country. At Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our group of skilled surgeons understand your need to continue your story. That is why we are the preferred choice for orthopedic care. Thank you for choosing us. Our story is you. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi.
Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton or online davisfordsales.com.
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen, as we're getting set for kickoff here in Fulton. A standing room if you're lucky crowd here on a Thursday night with all the 22 high school football games going on right now. Adam Gore, Jim Ingram, Jordan, tell me your last name.
Come on, Adam.
No, we win whenever I do this.
Okay,
so there you
Smith.
go. There you go.
Jordan Smith. Thank you.
That's right. We're I think 2-0 in the year when we did that.
So it's a running joke, and I was going to try to catch you off guard on that, but no, here we are tonight, guys. A very interesting atmosphere. Sophomore night, as ICC getting set to take on Mississippi Delta. Of course, you can hear the wind blowing. There is weather moving into the air tomorrow. A lot of high school games have got shifted to Thursday night. We typically are on 101.9 FM. But tonight we're letting Biggersville and Baldwin, that's their home radio station, so we're happy to do that for those Baldwin fans to be able to hear David Jenkins give the call to that game there. But, guys, we do have a football game here tonight. It is going to be an interesting atmosphere, not expecting a big crowd. So, Mr. Jim, just talk about tonight's game.
Adam, it's a big game. And you know, it's unfortunate that a lot of high school games have been moved. We talked about 22 high school games that were scheduled for Friday night have been moved to tonight. And I understand because of weather. That will hurt some fans coming. But it's also sophomore night, and we've got to recognize our cheerleaders, our band members, and, of course, our football players that have given us so much to the school. So we got sophomore night, and it's also – this is a big game.
It is.
If we find a way to win tonight, then we are still in pretty good shape to make the playoffs if we take care of business. So this game counts tonight. It's a North Division game. It's a very important game for the Indians.
Not only that, it's also fall break here on campus, so a lot of students taking advantage of the 3-day weekends that we have. So a lot of students were leaving at about lunch today. So, Jordan, just talk about how the Indians are going to have to stay focused in a very unique atmosphere.
Yeah, well, it's always difficult, Adam. I mean, anytime you've got a homecoming game or a sophomore night game, at the senior college level, a senior night game, there's all kind of other emotions that go into that. I mean, you're looking at probably your last home game underneath the lights here at Eaton Field. So there's always that extra emotion that goes into that type of atmosphere. You combine that with overall, it's just kind of an awkward feel here tonight because you don't have the crowd that you're used to seeing here because of all those high school games that are going on. So, it's going to be a little bit interesting, but hey, you got to come out, you got to play focused because there's a ton, as Jim said, still to play for. You take care of business tonight. Next week, not a division matchup. You still definitely want to take care of business there, though. But you win the next 2 weeks, you've got a road matchup at Northwest to finish out the regular season that could possibly put you in the playoffs.
This is the Davis Ford pregame show. We're about 25 and a half minutes away from that First American National Bank opening kick here between ICC and Mississippi Delta. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll come back with more of the Davis Ford pregame show right after this.
Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton or online davisfordsales.com.
Celebrate outrageous amounts of toppings with Little Caesars Extra Most Bestest. With the most cheese and now with the most toppings at the nation's best price. Create your favorite pizza starting at $6. Pay, then express pickup at Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
First American National Bank is a local bank. Our 10 locations are right here in Northeast Mississippi. Banking decisions are made locally by people who live here. It's been that way for more than 50 years. Our involvement in the community is important to us. That's where our roots are. Technology, it changes daily, but our community is what keeps us together. If you like high-tech banking, we've got that too. Follow the flag to First American National Bank, from Iuka to Tupelo.
The longer a person has diabetes, the more likely they are to develop diabetic retinopathy. If left untreated, diabetic retinopathy can lead to blindness. That's why it's important for diabetics to have a comprehensive eye examination with dilation once a year. I'm Dr. Laurie Cagle of Cagle Eye Center in Fulton. We offer comprehensive eye exams to provide diagnosis and treatment of various eye diseases. Browse our large selection of frames available in prescription and non-prescription. Call to schedule your appointment today at Cagle Eye Center in Fulton.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
And welcome back to the Davis Ford pregame show as we're about 22 minutes and 45 seconds away from that First American National Bank opening kick between ICC and Mississippi Delta. A crucial North Division matchup tonight here for the Indians if they want to keep those playoff hopes alive. And guys, we hear the ICC All-American Band getting fired up here in front of us as part of the pregame show. And earlier this week, Lee Adams had a chance to catch up with Coach Sean Cannon to talk about tonight's matchup against Mississippi Delta. Let's bring you that as we'll get his keys to victory being brought to you by the Bank of Okolona.
Coach, another exciting week, another big North Division week, and at home for the second time. But before we start talking about this week, let's talk a little bit about last week and that homecoming victory over Holmes.
Yeah, good to get back on the winning streak. You know, beating a good football team. You know, coming in, they'd played three really good football teams in the South, and beat Northwest and beat Northeast. So, but proud of our kids stepping up and battling. And coming out with a good victory. And the more I'm in this league, the longer I'm in here. You appreciate the wins. They're hard to get, and so our kids battled to the end, and it was good victory for us.
All right, well, Delta's coming in this week, coming off a short week as they played Saturday and beat Northeast in their homecoming. Just talk a little about Delta and some of the challenges they're going to bring.
Well, they're hot. They've won 2 in a row, beat Oklahoma 2 weeks ago, and kind of sets up for the same scenario as last year. They beat Northeast last year on their homecoming, and so they're riding a 2-game win streak. They've also played some good South teams. They've played Gulf Coast and Hines and those guys. So they played some really good competition. And typical Delta football team, they're very good. Athletic. Run the ball really good. And that's kind of what I've told the kids. I said we got to take advantage of them playing on Saturday and us getting a couple of days off before we come back. And they got to make a road trip. We're at home again, and and I kind of went back to the old Memphis wrestling days. I told them this is basically a loser leave town match. We got to keep this. We got to win this game to keep our playoff chances alive. And I told them this is do or die situation for us. So and they gonna bring in a good football team. And big offensive line. So we got to be ready to play and go out and answer the bell.
Okay, now watching their game last week, their running back seems to be very talented. Talk a bit about what you're getting your defense prepared for their rushing.
Probably the best running back we played. Runs really hard. You know, they've got a huge offensive line. One tackle's 400, 6'7", other than 6'6", 380. I mean, they've got some massive human beings, and that's something you cannot simulate in practice. You can't simulate the size they're going to be. And when they get to leaning on you, they move you out of there. So we've got to use our quickness up front, and we got to game tackle the running back. I mean, 1 and 9's really good players, and they've kind of starting a new out-of-state quarterback that didn't play a whole lot early in the year on the tape, but he's played against Kahoma, played against Northeast, runs around, and makes things happen with his feet. And they've got probably one of the most talented receivers that I've seen too, number 8, kid out of Mobile that's very, very electric, good on kicking game, return game, and he can stretch the field. So we've got to eliminate their big plays, you know, and make them earn what they get. But you know, I think the key to their offense is stopping their running back, because I think he's the one that makes them go. I think he had 130 yards rushing in the first half against Northeast last week. So got to go up there and tackle him. We got to put 11 hats on him because he's an extremely hard runner.
Okay, well, talk a little about their defense and some of the challenges they're going to provide for our offense.
Well, you play these guys, and they do a lot of different looks, and sometimes you think where they're supposed to be, they're not there, and they look up, here they go intercepting the ball. You know, they picked Northeast all 4 times last week, and when you throw it up, they've got the receiver mentality of defensive back. They go get the football, and pretty athletic up front, and you know, but you know, our challenge week in and week out is protect our passer, you know, and be able to open up some throwing lanes if we can keep our quarterback upright, and you know, and teams have played us a little bit differently every week than we thought they would. You know, Holmes last week, you know, come out and did a little different game plan than what we thought, and then eventually they got back into what they do. So we got to kind of be ready for the unknown on our defense, and you know, then kicking game wise. You know, got a great return game. Punt return guys are good. The kickoff return guys are good, and so this team is very, very dangerous. And our kids understand that, especially the ones that played last year against them. And they know what kind of football team's coming in here. But I think our big challenge is on both sides of the ball is to hold on to the ball and then be able to force turnovers. We've done that the last couple of weeks on defense, and that's helped us get more possessions on offense. We've been able to score and get our offense the ball back. You know, I think probably the biggest key of the game last week was us tackling the guy down there on the 1 and forcing a fumble and getting it on the 2 and then driving the ball out for 6, 7, 8 minutes, you know, and taking a lot of time off the clock. So anytime you can do that, change possession, that's going to be key for us to be able to continue to do that.
All right, well, you touched on it there, but let's move into our final segment here of our Bank of Oklahoma Keys to Victory.
Yeah, you know, you got to eliminate the big play. You know, I know they Holmes come out and did a pretty good job last week, and you know, on the first or second play of the game, hit the reverse on us. But you know, got to make teams earn what they get, and got to be able to stand up when you need to, and get those turnovers. You know, I think we got 4 last week with 2 fumbles and 2 interceptions, and you know, those were key for us, and you know, and just being able to play hard on defense. You know, you got to game tackle the ball offensively. We got to make our plays. You know, we should have ended that game and at halftime should have been up 28-7. So we get opportunities to make big plays. We got to come down with them. You know, we can't have drops that are wide open, and you know, and all those things like that. And you know, and when teams mess up, we got to take advantage. You know, when Delta doesn't line up the way we anticipate them, they do something that we're not ready for, and we got to make them pay. And then we got to be solid in the kicking game. You know, I thought Skyler coming back off 2 weeks of his injury, come back, was really our player of the game last week. You know, kicking those field goals and you know, in our punt game, pinning them inside the, you know, deep and making teams drive. So those are always going to be keys for us every week.
All right, Coach. Well, best of luck tonight.
I appreciate it.
And guys, we just heard those thoughts from Coach Sean Cannon. He also talked about his Bank of Oklahoma Keys to Victory. Bank of Oklahoma, John Harrod, a proud sponsor of ICC Athletics. Visit bankofoklahoma.com for more information there. And now, guys, I'm going to put the coaching shoes on you. And Mr. Jim, let's start with you. What are going to be your Bank of Oklahoma Keys to Victory tonight for the Indians?
Well, Adam, we got to take care of business. It's our last home game. And we mentioned not a great crowd, and we know a lot of reasons because of that. But I think the key tonight is play within yourselves and turnovers. We do not need to give them momentum. They've won 2 games just like us in the Northern Division. They're still playing for a playoff opportunity. We don't need to give them confidence, don't need to turn the ball over 1 or 2 times, let them get involved in the game. So I think turnovers are key tonight.
And those are the keys to victory brought to you by the Bank of Oklahoma through the eyes of Mr. Jim Ingram. And now Jordan Smith. What about you? What say you for the Indians to be victorious tonight?
Well, I think Jim's on top of it there. You can't play the emotional card tonight, especially early on in this game. I know there's going to be a lot of sophomores that see their families down there on the field, that they're going to realize this is the last time they're going to come out of that tunnel and come down here onto Eaton Field to play a home football game. But you cannot let that affect you. You've got to go out there and play to the top of your ability, because there are playoff implications on this game, whether you believe it or not.
Right.
There is a possibility of that taking place. So you've got to come out focused and pick right up where you left off last week. So that's one key. Secondly, and more of an in-game key for me, is going to be I think the back end of your secondary has got to play the best game they've played all year. Delta's got two receivers out there, one being LeBaron Jones. That's not LeBron James.
Yeah.
It's LeBaron Jones.
I'm going to end up saying that tonight.
I'm going to say it at some point, but hey, this kid is out of Blount High School, Mobile, Alabama. He's got 41 receptions, over 500 yards on the year. He had 11 grabs for 168 yards in the game against Kahoma 2 weeks ago. A guy that had offers out of high school, is very capable. He has shredded multiple secondaries this year. He's capable of doing that on his own. But on the other side of the field, he's got another guy in Treyvion Miles, who's a freshman out of Wilkinson County High School. He's got 25 grabs and 250 yards himself. Had 2 touchdowns in the game last week against Northeast. So you've got to be sound defensively. You've got to communicate in the back end. I think really that's where the biggest issues have been for this defense, has been in a communication standpoint in the back end. You've got to be as sound defensively, particularly in the secondary, as you've been all year.
And those are your keys to victory through the eyes of Mr. Jim and Jordan. As we're going to take a break and come back with more of the Davis Ford pregame show, as we're recognizing our sophomore cheerleaders right now. They'll also recognize the sophomore football players part of tonight's sophomore night festivities. We'll also recognize the, I think, 125 sophomore members of the ICC All-American Band at halftime as well, part of that Little Caesars halftime show there. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Super Talk Mississippi and the ICC Sports Network.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
Everyone has a unique story to tell. Maybe your story has you performing your new song in front of a crowd, getting to play your favorite sport, or enjoying a horseback ride in the country. At Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our group of skilled surgeons understand your need to continue your story. That is why we are the preferred choice for orthopedic care. Thank you for choosing us. Our story is you. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi.
Student involvement is a top priority here at Itawamba Community College.
If you want to be involved with student government, then the Student Government Association is the place for you.
If you have a stellar GPA, then Phi Theta Kappa is for you.
If you're interested in the diverse culture of our campus population, then the Diversity Club is for you.
If you're interested in leadership and service, then Indian Delegation is for you.
If you're majoring in computer programming or computer networking, then CPNA, the Computer Programming Networking Association, is for you.
If you're interested in good conversations and free lunch on Thursdays, then the Wesley Foundation is for you.
Our health science programs also have specific organizations for those majors.
Student Activities is excited to bring you new opportunities here at the ICC Tupelo campus.
Whatever your passion may be, we have a place for you.
This video is brought to you by Phi Theta Kappa, Beta Chi Sigma, Tupelo campus.
First American National Bank is a local bank. Our 10 locations are right here in Northeast Mississippi. Banking decisions are made locally by people who live here. It's been that way for more than 50 years. Our involvement in the community is important to us. That's where our roots are. Technology, it changes daily, but our community is what keeps us together. If you like high-tech banking, we've got that too. Follow the flag to First American National Bank, from Iuka to Tupelo.
Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton or online davisfordsales.com.
My burger goes best with mustard.
Ketchup and mustard.
Grass-fed beef.
No, corn-fed.
On the grill.
Now,
flat top. Iceberg lettuce.
Nah, arugula. Jalapeno.
No way. Avocado, dude.
Medium rare. Gotta be well done. Brioche.
Sesame seeds.
American cheese.
Cheddar.
Can I have a turkey burger? What? Turkeys are for Thanksgiving, man. I like my burger with the Coke.
I'll agree to that. Strictly with a Coke.
Only with the Coke.
Coke and a burger. Come on.
All right.
That's where you get the flavor.
And welcome back to the Davis Ford pregame show. We're inside 10 minutes away from that First American National Bank opening kickoff between ICC and Mississippi Delta. They're recognizing the sophomore members of the ICC football team right now. They're being greeted by their families on the field and Coach Sean Cannon as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at tonight's Coca-Cola starting lineups as Jordan start us off with Mississippi Delta.
Yeah, take a look at the defense for Mississippi Delta. Delta comes into the year with a 2-4 record. They're 2-2 in division play and 1-1 on the season in the road. Jeff Tatum in his 7th year, a guy who played at Delta back in the day, was a member of the 1993 national title coaching staff, is the head coach, again, in his 7th season there at Mississippi Delta. Across the front, they'll start with a 4-3 set. Ladarius Glover will play one defensive end. Glover, a 6'2", 238 sophomore out of West Point, Mississippi, leads the team with 5 sacks on the year. At the 2 defensive tackle spots, one will be Kentarius Owens, a freshman out of Oxford, Mississippi. Owens, 6'4", 253, 19 tackles on the year. He'll start at the defensive tackle spot. Rodney Mason, a sophomore out of Birmingham, Alabama, Huffman High School, leads the team with 6 tackles for loss on the season. Mason, a 6'2", 275 kid out of Birmingham, as we mentioned, will be the other defensive tackle. And rounding out the defensive line will be Montreal Huff, a 6'5", 240 sophomore out of Montgomery, Alabama. Spent his freshman year at Butler Community College in Kansas. He's now at Mississippi Delta. He has 20 tackles on the year from the defensive end spot. In the linebacking core, Isaiah Kareem, 6', 220 sophomore out of Columbus, 35 tackles on the year for Kareem and 1 sack. He'll start at the outside linebacker spot alongside Kelton Marshall. Marshall out of Wiggins, Mississippi, Stone High School, is a 5'9", 185 freshman with 28 tackles, 2 sacks, and interception so far on the campaign. The middle linebacker will be Latarius Embry out of Maben, Mississippi, from Maben, but played high school ball at West Point, 6', 201 freshman. Embry, 28 tackles and 3 tackles for loss on the season. In the secondary, starting at corner, will be Sumatris Stewart, 5'9", 165 freshman out of Hollandale Simmons High School. 2 interceptions leads the ball club for Stewart at the cornerback position. The other corner will be Kyle Cass, a sophomore out of Mobile, Alabama. He's from Blount High School. There's actually 3 guys that start on this team from Blount High School there in Mobile, Alabama. Cass at the cornerback spot, 6'2", 195, 24 tackles on the year for the sophomore corner. At strong safety, JaQuincy Johnson, 5'11", 165 sophomore out of Oxford High School, 34 tackles on the year, also 3 pass breakups on the year for Johnson, the sophomore. And the free safety that rounds out the starting lineup will be George Jackson, 5'11", 190 sophomore out of South Delta High School, leads the team with 43 tackles and 5 pass breakups so far on the year. Altogether, a defense that's allowing about 30.3 points a game and a little bit over 400 yards as well.
As they're about to play the national anthem, we'll step away and come back with those starting line. I'll tell you what, let's let you listen to the ICC All-American Band play the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as we honor America. Gentlemen, please remove your caps. Please direct your attention to the flagpole in the south end zone.
And that was the ICC All-American Band. Remind you, we'll be honoring their sophomores coming at halftime. Jordan, let's continue with the Coca-Cola starting lineups for Delta.
Yeah, so as we mentioned, Delta opened up the year 0-4, but since then they've gone on to beat Coahoma 2 weeks ago and beat Northeast on Saturday, so a short week for Delta. On the offensive line, they'll go with John Rister, a 6'6", 370 sophomore out of Memphis at the left tackle spot. And guys, one thing you're going to notice quick is all of these guys are some big fellas on the offensive line. Each one of them over 340 except for the center. The left guard will be Kenya Kopp, 6'4", 340 sophomore out of Vicksburg, Mississippi. The center will be Justin Brooklyn, 6'1", 290 sophomore out of Senatobia. Gregory Nelson, a freshman from Leland, Mississippi at 5'11", 345 will be the right guard. And the right tackle will be Tabrayan Clayton, 6'7", 400-pounder out of Yazoo County High School. Clayton, a freshman. So that's 370, 340, 290, 345, and 400 pounds across the offensive line for Delta.
A little bit of beef.
No doubt about that one. In the wide receiver corps, Treyvion Miles, 5'11", 182 freshman out of Wilkinson County High School, had 9 grabs for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns last week. He'll start at one wide receiver. The other will be LeBaron Jones, 6'1", 180 sophomore out of Blount High School there in Mobile, Alabama. Jones has 41 grabs for over 500 yards this year and 3 touchdowns. The running back will be out of Columbus, Mississippi, the sophomore Patrick Johnson, 5'10", 215. 21 carries for 139 yards in last week's action, that win over Northeast. The quarterback will be Byron Walker. Walker's at 5'11", 188 sophomore from Lake Charles, Louisiana. He spent his freshman year in 2017 at Southeastern Louisiana, where he appeared in 9 games. Now at Delta, he's completed 51 of 92 passes on the year for 696 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 1 interception. That's a 55.4% completion percentage for the sophomore quarterback, Byron Walker. We'll take a look now at the ICC starting lineup.
And this, once again, this starting lineup for ICC being brought to you by Coke, our folks at the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, ICC and Coke. Now that's a winning combination, and Coach Sean Cannon's hope he's got this winning combination put together tonight.
Yeah, going to be a little bit of a different look to start the night on the defensive side. They'll go 4 down linemen. On the end will be Shaquille Brown, a 6'4", 275 sophomore from Tallahassee, Florida. He'll be at 1 defensive end. On the inside of the set will be Jaquan Lott from Marks, Mississippi at 6'3", 285, a freshman, as well as Jason Womack, a redshirt freshman out of Louisville Central High School. Womack, 6'2", 297. He, too, will be one of the defensive tackles along the defensive line to start the thing out. T-Coy Randolph, 6'3", 235 freshman from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, will round out that defensive line at the other defensive end spot. In the linebacking corps, Kendrick Jones, 6'1", 205 sophomore out of Independence, Mississippi. 14 tackles on the year for Jones. He'll be one of the outside backers. Nick Smith, a sophomore from Cleveland Central High School. 50 tackles on the year, a sack and a half, and 1 forced fumble for the 6'4" sophomore linebacker, Nick Smith. And the middle linebacker, leading the league in tackles with 58, 14 and a half tackles for loss and 6 sacks. That'll be Keyshawn Parker, the sophomore out of Calhoun City, Mississippi. Parker, as we've mentioned, the sophomore at 5'11", 225. The cornerbacks will be Jaquan Williams, a sophomore from Kosciuszko, and Savante Oliver, the sophomore out of North Panola High School. Oliver leads the team with 4 pass breakups on the year. The strong safety will be Peyton Ray, 5'10", 189 freshman out of Madison Central, and Ken Martin, the sophomore, will be the free safety out of Columbus High School, who leads the team with 2 interceptions. Along the offensive line, as we flip over and look at the offensive starters, Cameron Orr will start at left tackle. Orr, 6'6", 300, the redshirt sophomore from IAHS. The left guard will be Anthony Saylor, drawing his first start of the year. Saylor, 6'4", 251 freshman out of South Haven. The center will be Charles Brooks, 6 tall, 315 freshman from Greenwood. The right guard, Jacob Cunningham, the sophomore out of Louisville, Mississippi, and he'll be flanked to his right by another freshman out of Louisville, Mississippi, Tim Yarbrough. Yarbrough at 6'3", 260. The wide receivers to start out the football game, Quay Tucker, 5'11", 191 sophomore from Dadeville, Alabama. Collins Woods III out of Blount High School, so he probably knows some of those guys from Blount on the other side. Woods, 27 receptions for 303 yards and 2 touchdowns on the year. And Barry Flowers will round out the wide receiving corps. Flowers out of South Panola High School had 9 grabs for 150 yards last week. Hiram Wadlington on sophomore night draws a start at the running back spot. The 5'11", 190 back out of Oxford had 19 carries for 80 yards and 2 touchdowns in action last week. And rounding out the starting lineup will be Clark Mills, the sophomore quarterback out of Ecru, Mississippi. North Pontotoc High School was 25 of 38 for over 300 yards last week. On the year so far, 9 touchdowns to 6 interceptions for Mills and completing passes at a 52.7% clip.
And we're off. Good job there, Jordan, as timing that one. As we have the First American National Bank opening kickoff, it's going to be taken at the 20, and it's going to be fought forward and going to be knocked down. A minimum return of maybe 5. Yes, they're going to start at the 25-yard line. Good coverage down the field that time. As it'll be a first down and 10 situation now here for the Trojans of Mississippi Delta. And, guys, we're going to get to see the first time tonight this massive offensive line of Mississippi Delta. Jordan, you talked about it, and you see them running on the field. Man, that's just some big dudes.
There's some big dudes there.
And it makes you wonder if that's part of the reason behind going 4-down linemen is you look out there and you see that. I mean, 4 of the 5 guys are over 340, so maybe get an extra D lineman in there, a little more athleticism on the line to combat that.
So it is going to be a first and 10 from the 25-yard line here for Mississippi Delta. Man in motion coming to the bottom of your screen for those watching on Let's Go ICC TV. Handoff, and it's going to be kept on the ground now, trying to bounce it to the outside. A minimum gain of 1, maybe 2 on the play. And a nice tackle in the open field that time by Octavius McClatchy for the Indians. They are going to give him a pretty generous spot across the way, gain of 3.
Yeah, good job there by McClatchy. He's the safety in that set, so he's not used to only seeing 3 linebackers in front of him. He's used to having those 4 guys there, but he steps up as the carry goes off the right side and comes in there for the tackle after a gain of 2.
So they are going to move it back a step now, so it will be a gain of 2 on the play. So, well, actually they mark it up back again. So let's call it a gain of 3. Second down and 7 is going to be the official call here. Again, man in motion here for the Delta Trojans. And it's looking like he's wanting to pass. Thought about it for a second, then he's going to drop, and he's going to be hit and dropped. A big-time play there for the Indians.
Yeah, that's a busted play there, as it looked like they went split-back set. They motioned Pat Johnson out of the backfield. They went read option with Terrell Coleman. They're trying to get a screen pass fired up to the near side of the field over here, but Coleman ran over the quarterback, threw the timing off of everything. And before you do it, big number 99, Jason Womack, was all over the quarterback for the tackle for loss.
Yeah, came in there and knocked him back, and now it's going to be a 3rd down and 9 situation. And, guys, this is what we talked about this season, the Indians' ability to get off the field with 3rd down. Conversion down coming up here for the Trojans in the shotgun. Again, man in motion coming towards the bottom of your screen. Now he's going to stop halfway. Back to pass. Plenty of time to throw. Now he's going to let to run. And Parker comes up and trips him up, and he's going to be short of the first down. Jim, good defensive stand there for the Indians.
Good job by the Indians. 3 and out. They're going to have to punt the football from their own 32-yard line. 13 minutes left in the first quarter. We should get good field position, Jordan, on this punt.
Yeah, that was a good job by Parker there. 3rd and 9. No, you got a long way to go to get the sticks. His job there is the quarterback spy. He's got the middle of the field. If the quarterback steps up, he's supposed to pick him up. He did right there, made the tackle, and left him about 3 yards short as we see McGregor come on for the first punt tonight.
We have Little Caesars punt coming up here. McGregor, 2 weeks ago, was named the MACJC and I believe National Kicker of the Week, and boom, what a kick. As the wind is going to be behind your back if you're moving right to left on your radio dial, and he didn't need much wind as he's going to boot this one down. It's going to be down at the 9-yard line.
That's a 58-yard punt from McGregor right there. He was averaging a little over 40 yards per punt. He had 16 down inside the 20 on the year. Well, add a little bit to that average and put another one in the inside 20 column there for McGregor.
Jordan, I think it was 68 if I'm not mistaken. From the 32 to the 9, my arithmetic could be off, but he boomed it.
So a big-time kick there. Of course, now McGregor, a former Indian, I believe 2 years ago, was trying to walk on as a wide receiver, elected to transfer out. And so now it's going to be a 1st down and 10 situation here, as it's going to be a give to Wallington. Wallington following his blockers, moving us forward and still rumbling forward. A big-time gain there, about 9 that time for Hyman Wallington.
Yeah, and I would like to see a lot of Wadlington doing that tonight, especially early on. You know, we mentioned in the pregame show kind of the emotions that come around a sophomore night or a homecoming night. Establish the run early and let the offense be dictated off of that.
So now it'll be a 2nd down and 1 situation. Mills in the shotgun. Wallington is to his right. It is going to be a little forward pass. This is going to be Flowers trying to cut back up the middle. Delta read that one nicely and is going to knock the Indians back for a loss of about 2. And so good job by the Delta defense not being fooled on that play there, coming up and getting the speedy Flowers in a hurry.
He did a good job in the linebacking corps. The outside backer steps up. He takes on the block from the tight end. They recognize the play early. The middle linebacker is able to come through there and tackle him for, we'll give him a loss of a yard, I guess, there to bring up a 3rd and 2.
3rd down and 2 is the situation. A possession down once again here for the Indians. Now the Indians going to clear the backfield. Mills is going to keep it, though, up the middle. He's going to break off 1, gets across the 20, and that's going to be good enough for a 1st down. Well, Jim, nice job that time. Cleared out, and Mills just lowered his head and got what he needed for the first down.
Had the little quarterback draw there. Got the key first down, 1st and 10 Indians from the own 23-yard line. 11:20 left in the first quarter. And, guys, when I make a mistake, I need to fess up to it. Jordan was on the money. I was wrong on the punt. It was 58 yards. I apologize, Jordan.
Mills dropping back to pass, looking over the middle. He's got a man and it's caught. And he's still on his feet after taking a pretty big lick that time. And a big-time play there for the Indians.
That's Quay Davis there. He came on a post over the center of the field. He put the safety in conflict. There was a go route outside the numbers. Davis was in the slot. He comes back to the middle of the field. The safety has to make a decision. There he went with the go route, left the middle of the field open for a big gain.
The Indians quickly back to the line of scrimmage. Waddington spins off one, gets across the 50 down to about the 47-yard line, maybe the 46. We'll see where they're going to spot it. A gain of 5 that time. That first down, the previous first down, being brought to you by your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox. For all your insurance needs, whether it be home, auto, or life, stop by and see Joey right there on South Adams Street here in Fulton. So a gain of 5. Second down and 5 is the situation.
Free play. You're right. Throw the bomb. There it is.
Looking to go downfield. Going to be a jump ball to Woods, and it's going to be deflected away that time. But, guys, as you said, a free play there as flags flew. And so now the Indians, looks like they're possibly going to be able to pick up the first down due to the penalty.
It's going to be close there. It was big 95, Rashawn Williams, 6'2", 315 sophomore. Trying to get a little head start, get back there in the backfield on the second down play. But good job by Clark to get the ball snapped. He did right. He threw the deep ball to see what could happen. No reason not to there.
And it will march the ball up the field 5 yards and set the Indians with a fresh set of downs here. The ball at the 41-yard line. Going to be a first down and 10 situation here for the Indians. 10:19 to go in the first quarter. Still scoreless between ICC and Delta. Trying to run the bubble screen, and that time, as they're going to try to say it was intercepted, but it hit the ground as it was intended for number 6 that time, Quay Tucker. And, guys,
that was close.
Don't know if Tucker slipped or what. Jordan, you said you were down on the field earlier. It was a little spongy, but Jim, you said it. It was close, and the Indians caught a break there because some of the previous officiating we've seen this year, that one could have easily been called a pick 6.
No doubt. Evidently, he did not get his hands underneath it, thank the Lord for us. So when is an incomplete pass, 2nd and 10 for the Indians?
So as Jim mentioned, 2nd down and 10 is the situation here for the Indians. Now 2 running backs in the backfield for ICC. And Mills is your quarterback in the shotgun. 2 receivers on the far side of the field, 1 here at the bottom of your screen for those watching on Let's Go ICC TV. I believe that's Wilson that's coming in the backfield with Waddington. Waddington's going to get the handoff now, cuts it up the middle across the 40, still fighting for it, and he's going to be pushed back and stood up as now he will get out, and it's going to break up a 2nd down and about 6 situation here.
It's been good to see R.J. Wilson come on as the year has progressed. We saw a lot of Jamarcus Quarles earlier in the year. We're seeing some R.J. Wilson, the freshman out of Independence, over the course of the last couple of weeks. Wilson and Quarles, a couple of guys who, tonight being sophomore night, last home game for Hiram Wadlington under the lights here, they're going to be dependent on a lot when next year rolls around.
Waddington in motion to the top of your screen. They're going to run a little bubble screen to Flowers. Flowers over the middle. Now it's just going to be a foot race. He's to the 20, 15, 5. Touchdown, Indiana.
Yeah, what a great play design there by ICC as they flood Hiram Wadlington out of the backfield. Everybody keys there. They think it's a swing pass going to that side. Then you see Barry Flowers coming out of the slot on the bubble screen. They get the football to him, and he's going to beat most people in a foot race.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Jordan. Good blocking downfield. Sprung them for that touchdown. 6-0 Indians here. 9:33 left the first quarter. Extra point pending.
Yeah, the Indians got away with a little bit of extra celebration there at the end of the play. And you would think the few times the Indians have been kind of bitten by that, you would see a little bit less of that as the extra point is up and good. 7-0 is your score. 9:33 to go here in the first quarter. We're going to take a break. Let's hear from First American National Bank and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
First American National Bank is a local bank. Our 10 locations are right here in Northeast Mississippi. Banking decisions are made locally by people who live here. It's been that way for more than 50 years. Our involvement in the community is important to us. That's where our roots are. Technology, it changes daily, but our community is what keeps us together. If you like high-tech banking, we've got that too. Follow the flag to First American National Bank, from Iuka to Tupelo.
And welcome back to action. Did you hear the chop fired up here? ICC leading at 7-0 with 9:33 to go in the first quarter of play. Very unique atmosphere tonight with all the high school football games going on a Thursday. Of course, now if you're listening on Super Talk Mississippi, this game being tape delayed so we could help our friends and fans out in Baldwin be able to listen to their broadcast tonight. We're happy to be able to do that there. This First American National Bank kickoff is going to be taken at the 11-yard line by Delta, trying to get to the outside. Now cuts to the corner. Now gets a big block across the 30, and a pretty good return that time, guys, as Mr. Jimmy was able to break that to the outside, and a little slippery to be able to break a few tackles.
Good running. Got good field position here. They're on 34-yard line. You mentioned, Adam, we took advantage here early in the first quarter. 9:26 left in the first quarter. Indians 7, Trojans 0. Played good defense. They went 3 and out first series. Yep. Let's see if we can do it again.
Yeah, you got to feel good now after you've got the emotions out of the way from the sophomore night festivities earlier. You've come out, you got a 3 and out, you got a score on the board. Things couldn't have started out very much better for the guys in red and blue.
Guys, I'm trying to grasp. I'm looking at their tackles. They are huge, both the right tackle and the left tackle.
Handoff now in the backfield. ICC was back there, pulled his shoe off. He was able to break the tackle and get it across the 40. So a pickup of about 7 on the play there. And, Jim, you're correct. That is just a half a ton of hostile humanity on that front line. As we talked about it, they got a couple of guys pushing 400 pounds, a couple of guys tipping the scales at 400 pounds as well.
Not quite pushing it there, a couple of them. The right tackle, Treyvion Clayton, is a freshman at 6'7", 400.
It reminds me of the old school Jackie Sherrill offensive lines back in the day, where he would just get huge guys, and there's a handoff up the middle, and then the ICC is going to stack it up. And the thing about it is, you're looking at these big guys, they're pulling and moving off that offensive line, so they've got a very talented, very skilled offensive front line for their size.
Yeah, you would think when you hear those size guys, they're not going to be able to move very much. And we'll see over the course of the game if the stamina wears out. But so far, they've been able to move them around and block it however they've wanted to.
Well, they're going to give the Trojans a very generous spot there. The ball was, they had to get to the 43.
I didn't think they got it, but nonetheless, the chains got moved.
So they moved the chains there. Back to pass. Looking to go downfield. Got a man open. Caught, and this is going to be a touchdown. No flags on the play and a big-time answer there, guys. That was just a beautiful throw, as that's going to go for 57 yards and a touchdown.
Jordan, which receiver was that, Jordan? You talked about the skilled receivers they had.
That's Damian Jones, the guy that's led the team. He had 11 grabs for 168 yards 2 weeks against Kahoma. And there he was outside the numbers, nothing but a go route out wide, one-on-one coverage where he got a step, a throw that was just dropped right in there by Byron Walker, and an easy touchdown pass for Delta.
Give Walker credit. The receiver didn't break stride, caught it right there in his chest. Not bad coverage, it's just a beautiful throw and play by the Trojans.
7-7 is your score. 8:15 to play here. Delta with a big-time answer there. Let's take a break and hear a few words from our sponsors and be back with more here from Fulton.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
Anything you can do, I can do better is the story of the game so far. 7-7 is your score. 8:15 to go in the first quarter. ICC and Mississippi Delta doing battle here on sophomore night, the final home game of the season for ICC, as we're awaiting this First American National Bank kickoff here from Delta. And the Indians, well, they got to find a way to see if they can answer. We saw it a few years ago where it was a shootout back and forth that Delta was able to, or excuse me, ICC was able to find a way to pick up the win late, as this kickoff is going to be taken at about the 7-yard line by ICC. Now trying to cut it back up the middle, looking to get to the outside, nothing doing. Beautiful open field tackle that time by number 15. That was Kevin Green. It was Javis Wren on the return.
Well, you were right. There's a lot of open field over there because he completely ran away from where the blockers were. I mean, it was designed to be blocked up the right hash mark, and he cut it out to the left. There was nowhere to go.
Sometimes, Jordan, you got to give credit where credit's due. Byron Walker threw a dime in there on that route. I'm not sure how far it was, 45, 50-yard pass. It's a beautiful pass. Give them credit. Give the Trojans credit on that touchdown.
They've got a wide receiving crew that really can't beat you. I mean, that's the first time we've seen Damian Jones there, but I bet that play got circled. That'll come back too.
First down and 10 is the situation here for the Indians. Mills is your quarterback. Waddington in the backfield. Waddington's going to get the handoff. He's going to try to bounce it to the outside. Now cuts across the middle. Whole lot of green grass here for Waddington. Now cuts to the outside. Picks up a block across the 40. Makes a man fall to the ground. Still up. Still going. Across the 50 to the 45. My, oh my. That might have been the most electrifying run we've seen all season.
Great job by Waddington on a play where he probably should have been tackled behind the line of scrimmage. He's just so shifty with the football in his hands. Breaks a couple tackles before he finds some running room, and before it's over with, about a 30-yard pickup for the sophomore.
I don't know where he's going to play next year, but he's going to play more football. There's no doubt in my mind he can play.
Big time run there, and let's give credit for some blocking downfield. Colin Woods coming in and giving a good block. Barry Flowers as well. First and 10 now. Mills with the football. Throws over the middle. There's Flowers. He's already got one touchdown catch on the day, and that pass is going to go good, and almost a 10-yard gain there on the part of Flowers. And they're going to move the chains again. Back-to-back pickups for those first downs. Of course, those first downs being brought to you by your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox.
That's what you want to see there in the pass game. You see pressure from the near side, so Mills notices that. He knows his receiver, and Flowers knows what to do. He sits down where the pressure came from. That's where you throw the football, and that's an easy 10-yard pickup.
So now Mills looking to pass again, looking downfield. He's got a man, and he's hit and dropped, and that's going to be pass interference as the defensive back from Delta, McCullum, that time knew he was beat. I'm going to say not a bad idea by McCullum. Just reached up and tackled the guy. If not, that's 6 points on the board.
Not a bad play whatsoever. He had no help over the top. Tucker had gotten past him, and he just reaches up and pulls him to the ground. But that's one of those touchdown-saving pass interferences there. Is I'll give up half the distance to the goal to keep you from putting 6 points on the board.
Right, I'll give you 15 yards, but I'm not going to give you a touchdown.
So they're going to place the ball at the 20-yard line where ICC will have it with the first down. Strong right is the call, as it's two receivers on the far side.
They don't have enough help over there at the moment, Adam.
And we'll see if ICC will be able to take advantage of it. Instead, they're going to give it to Wilson. He's going to try to go to the left side of the field, gets around the corner. Oh, just grabbed him by the back of his jersey, able to bring him down. Wilson had a lot of green grass to go.
And that's what the coaching staff upstairs was screaming about there, was they had one-on-one man coverage out wide. There was no safety to help over there. That all adds up. Wilson, if he's able to run out of one tackle, he's headed to the pylon. That's probably a touchdown.
So it is going to be a second down. Let's call it second down and 7 situation here for the Indians. Apologize for that. Having to get Raphael some information up top. His camera keeps losing focus, but he's not checking his phone. So either way it goes. Gain of 3 by Wilson. Indians knocking on the door. 7-7 is the score. This is Mills who's going to roll out now. Now he's got a lot of room to run. He'll have the first down, then step out of bounds. Nice run that time by Clark Mills.
Good smart play by Clark Mills. Saw the left side of the field open up, ran to the 10-yard line, got the first down, first and goal, Indians.
Yeah, good job there to make something out of nothing. He's pressured off his right side. There's a good coverage downfield, so nowhere to really throw the football. But he finds some running room and gets it inside the 10 to bring up first and goal.
So first down and goal as the ball is just shy. We'll call it the 9-yard line is where ICC will have it. Looks like this is Quarles in the backfield now for the Indians, and he's going to get the handoff now, cuts it back up the middle, tries to power his way forward. He's going to get the ball out. No, he's still going forward.
Wow.
And thought there for a second he was going to be down to 5, but guys, that was an impressive run there by Quarles.
He fights that thing all the way down to the 1-yard line. And guys, I mean, he's just that type of back where you want to get him the football as fast as you can and let him get north and south with it, as he will flat out run somebody over. He did it there and got it all the way down inside the 1.
And he's going to get it again. This time he will sprint into the end zone untouched for a touchdown for the Indians.
And you got to love that. I mean, a guy who just ran a big-time run like that, picked up those 8 yards, a physical run, go right back to him again. Quick, run with good tempo and rhythm offensively, and he easily finds his way into the end zone.
Makes it 13-7 now with 5:10 to go here in the first quarter. Big-time run there. Big-time answer by the Indians as well.
And that's the first touchdown of the year for Quarles, too. A guy who's played a lot. He's got a lot of carries. Finally to find the end zone. Good for the big fella.
So waiting this extra point attempt. The kick is up, and the kick is good. 14-7. ICC retakes the lead with 5:10 to go here in the first quarter. Don't go anywhere, folks. We got a good one brewing here in Fulton. Back with more right after this. At Itawamba Community College, your education is our top priority. With a 20-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio, you will get the help that you need from your instructors. With 3 locations in Fulton, Tupelo, and Belden, ICC offers classes that will prepare you to enter almost any job field of your choice. Learn more about Wallet Hub's #1 community college in Mississippi and the 25th best in the country by visiting iccms.edu or apply online at apply.iccms.edu. Itawamba Community College. The best start here. Welcome back as we're getting set for another First American National Bank opening kickoff, a score fest here early on, guys. ICC answers after a quick strike by Mississippi Delta to take a 14-7 lead with 5:10 to go here in the first quarter of play. And Jordan, you got a note?
Yeah, I mean, what else would you expect? ICC averages 19.5 points a game. Delta averages 16.8 points a game, and it's 14-7, 10 minutes in.
And so a short kick taken at the 29 is going to be returned and out to the 40-yard line. So a nice, easy return that time and good field position here for the Trojans.
We were talking there in the break, Jim. From what I've seen so far, 2 possessions from Delta, I think I'm ready to drop back and air that thing out if I'm them offensively.
No doubt about it. You know, guys, there's 5 minutes left in the first quarter. We're up 14-7. Has there been any penalties in this ball game?
Yep. It was the one interference or the
one
holding
interference,
call down
and that's
there.
it.
Yep. So
I'll probably jinx it. We're getting ready to have a bunch of flags.
Thanks, Jim.
Yeah, knock on some wood, Mr. Jim.
Yeah. My bad.
5:05 to go here. 14-7 ICC with the lead. Sophomore night here in Fulton. Delta with the football, 1st and 10 from the 40. And they're going to hand it off this time, keep it on the ground, try to bounce it to the outside, but there's the Indians. Nice read on that one. It turns up to be a gain of 2 on the play, but the Indians there to sniff that one out well.
And, you know, Patrick Johnson is a guy who's had a really good year. I mean, he's 2nd in the state in rushing yards. He's averaging nearly 5 yards per carry, but I'm just not quite convinced that's the formula tonight for them offensively to beat ICC. I mean, when they've thrown the thing around in the past, that's where they've had success. That's kind of what's bothered ICC defensively over the course of the last few weeks.
2nd down and 8 is the situation. Dropping back to pass. They are going to go with the short route now. And 2 guys for the Indians there. They're going to hit him and drop him, but still able to fight forward and get near the 1st down marker. Should bring up a 3rd down and 1 situation here for the Indians, or excuse me, for the Trojans.
That's Jones again. I mean, that's the go-to guy. That's his 2nd reception tonight, but his 43rd reception of the year. I mean, when you're looking for somewhere to go with the football as a quarterback, you got a guy 6 games in that's got 43 grabs. I'm pretty sure that's where they're going to be looking for it.
No doubt, and it's probably 4-down territory. The ball's at midfield, 3rd and 1, 14-7, 4 minutes left in the first quarter.
And guys, it might be worth noting Jones limping on the sideline after being hit just before going out of bounds. Handoff up the middle, and he's going to bounce it to the outside and does get the 2nd effort and the 1st down. The Indians were back there, but just a nice effort by the running back to bounce that one outside and move the chains.
Yeah, good will there on the run by Patrick Johnson as he runs into somebody right there at the 50, which is what he needed to move the chains. He's able to bounce off and fight forward for that extra yard to move the chains. The sophomore running back out of Columbus does what he needs to do there to move the chains on 3rd and short.
Ball is on the positive side of the 50 now at the 49-yard line. 1st down and 10. 3.5 to play here in the first quarter. ICC with a 14-7 advantage over the Trojans. Handoff's going to be in the backfield now, trying to bounce to the outside. The Indians were there, and they're going to make a stop after a gain of 1. That's one thing that's very impressive about Jackson. He doesn't go down backwards. That time he was still able to fight forward and get positive yardage despite being hit in the backfield.
He's a tough, compact back. I mean, 5'10", 215. He's battle-tested. He's in his 2nd year in the league. A guy kind of like Hiram Wadlington who has put his time in here in the MACJC. He knows how it goes running in this league there. You know, he's got a big old offensive line to run behind that helps too.
And just for note, Jones is back in the game. He's at the bottom of your screen here for those watching on Let's Go ICC TV. A little bit of confusion now by Delta as they're moving some guys around late. Gets the snap back. Pressure coming from the Indians. Throw over the middle. And the pressure that time forcing the early throw. And Jim, a good job that time by the Indians. Just bringing anybody and everybody to put pressure on the quarterback.
Brought the linebackers. Of course, our linebackers have been very good this year. Lead the teams and tackle the first 4 linebackers. Brought the pressure then. Jordan, he didn't have time to find this man incomplete.
And that was the first time he had seen that look so far tonight. So on that 2nd and 9 play, they're trying to get into more of a 3rd and manageable situation with that out route. But he gets all that pressure right into his face, and that makes the guy let go of the football a little bit too early. Now big 3rd down, 9 to go from the midfield stripe.
Snapback's a little high, is able to get it. There is pressure coming. They throw it to the outside. It's going to be caught, reeled in, and
he's short.
He's going to be short, so it's going to be decision-making time. And, Mr. Jim, I think I'm with you on this. You got to think it's going to be 4-down territory in this situation here for the Trojans.
I believe it is. It's 4th and 2. They're on our 41-yard, and they're going to punt. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a surprise there. It would have been a 4th and 2. They're 1 of 7 on the year on 4th down, though. So that tells you, hey, they may not be very confident in what they've got in that 4th and 2, 4th and 3 range.
For the Indians, you don't necessarily want to put the pressure on in this situation. You may want to just play for the fake. So a lot of movement. Indians don't jump offside, and they do punt this one away, as this one's going to be angled towards the sideline, and it's going to be caught out of bounds, but it's still a nice punt by McGregor as the ball's going to be down at the 5. So the Indians are going to have a lot of real estate to go here, but guys, the Indians offensively have moved the ball well tonight.
Yeah, they haven't missed a beat. Everything they've wanted to do offensively so far has been there for them. It's been a good job by Clark Mills. It's felt like he's just taking what's been given to him. You know, if you give me 10 yards to run, I'm going to run it. If the out route's there, I'm going to fire it in there. And then they've used all 3 running backs, Wilson, Quarles, and Wadlington well too. But a brand new possession here, a different look, as you've got to snap this one inside your own 5.
You're right. We got 95 yards to go. But the first 2 series we mentioned, we did not have to punt. 2 series, 2 touchdowns.
So 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter. 14-7, ICC with the lead. They're sending Wadlington out to the right side. Now going to throw it over the middle, and it's going to be caught. But no, they're going to say he dropped it. So no possession gained that time. A big-time break for the Indians. I thought it was caught. Thought he took a step and then fumbled it. So a big-time break there as the pass falls incomplete. 2nd down and 10 with 1:55 to go here in the first quarter.
You know, Jordan, they ran a little crossing pattern, but it was really inside. The linebacker helped the defense back cover him. Almost had an interception. Didn't possess the ball long enough. Thank goodness it was incomplete for the Indians.
So now it'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 5-yard line. And they're going to play action fake and pass over the middle. Now this is going to be a foot race. This is Flowers. Flowers is going to be hit and dropped at the 40-yard line. Big-time play there. Just a quick route to the speedy Flowers.
That was the same play concept, but they took it to the other side. So they put Flowers in the slot. That's a 3-step up, slant back over the middle. He gets in between the middle linebacker and the safety, and when he finds that crease, it's tough for anybody to get the angle to come in and make the tackle. So next thing you know, it's the free safety that runs him down from behind after a 35-yard gain.
So a big-time game there as now the Indians go no running back in the backfield, 5 wide. Flowers is going to come in motion. This time they fake it. Mills is going to have to hurry up. Now he just options it out to Flowers, and Flowers makes another guy miss. He's across the 50. He's going to be tripped up and dropped at the 45-yard line. Smart play there by Clark Mills.
And I'm not sure if that will go in the book as a pass or as a backwards lateral. It looked like it was coming forward, so I'm going to say that's probably going to go in the passing category. But again, we talked about it late last week. Barry Flowers has emerged as that guy only as a freshman where he's a playmaker. You get the football in his hands however you can. Good job there by Clark Mills to do just that.
Another first down here for the Indians. This first down being brought to you by your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox. Play action fake, and this time the Indians go short with it. Going to try to run the bubble screen up the middle. It is complete and caught across the 35-yard line as that screen pass was Quay Tucker. And, guys, the Indians picking it up in chunks right now.
Well, and I like the rhythm they're playing with offensively. As soon as the pass is completed, Clark's looking over to the sideline. He's getting the next play call, and they're getting that thing in there and ready to go. It's 30 seconds to go in the first quarter. With the rhythm they've got right now, that's plenty of time to keep on snapping that thing and moving it down the field.
So the Indians will have to snap the ball as there are about 2 seconds difference between the game clock and the play clock. So ICC looking towards the sideline. Mills is your quarterback. You've got Wadlington in the backfield. 2 receivers on both sides of the football here for the Indians. 5 seconds on the play clock. Mills gets the snap, looking to throw. Goes underneath, and the ball, is it going to be caught? Yes, it is, and it's going to get out to about the 31-yard line, and that will do it for the first quarter of play. 14-7, ICC with the lead, but driving down the field here. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
My burger goes best with mustard.
Ketchup and mustard.
Grass-fed beef.
No, corn-fed.
On the grill.
Now, flat top.
Iceberg lettuce.
Nah, arugula.
Jalapeno.
No way. Avocado, dude.
Medium rare. Gotta be well done. Brioche.
Sesame seeds.
American cheese.
Cheddar.
Can I have a turkey burger? What? Turkeys are for Thanksgiving, man. I like my burger with the Coke.
I'll agree to that. Strictly with a Coke.
Only with the Coke.
Coke and a burger. Come on.
All right.
That's where you get the flavor.
Everyone has a unique story to tell. Maybe your story has you performing your new song in front of a crowd, getting to play your favorite sport, or enjoying a horseback ride in the country. At Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our group of skilled surgeons understand your need to continue your story. That is why we are the preferred choice for orthopedic care. Thank you for choosing us. Our story is you. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 14-7 is your score after the first quarter of play. Jordan, I know you got some interesting Sonic stats right there in front of you.
Yeah, we talked about Clark Mills earlier and how he's really directed this offense through the first quarter of the game. 7 of 9 passing for 138 yards and a touchdown through 15 minutes of play for the sophomore quarterback.
So a nice start to the contest. The Indians trying to see if they can take a 2-possession lead here as we get set to start the second quarter of play. Indians with it, second down. The ball is going to be at the 30-yard line, second down and 6. Mills back to pass. Pressure coming, able to avoid it. Now he's going to let it take off and run. No, he throws it forward, and that's going to be another first down for the Indians.
I believe that's R.J. Wilson who had slipped out of the backfield there. So both he and Wadlington were in a split back set. They crossed each other. That allowed for a little bit of pressure on Mills, but Mills buys that time and sees him open there at the last minute and fires it up there and picks up 11 yards.
Big time play there for the Indians, and now ICC trying to march down the field and see if they can continue this rhythm going. Man, Jim, they're looking sharp right now on offense.
No doubt about it, Adam. And Clark Mills is doing everything right now.
So first down and 10 here for the Indians. Mills with 2 running backs to his left and right. It is going to be a handoff to Wadlington, who's now going to try to bounce it to the outside. Looking for a seam, uses a stiff arm, and the Delta Trojans just read that one beautifully, guys, and there is a flag down.
Yeah, that may be a hold there. So a lot of times when you see that play designed to go in between the tackles, he has to kick it out wide. That usually means there's bound to be a hold somewhere, and that's what it was.
And so holding was the call on the Indians. I don't know if you're Delta in this situation if you don't decline it.
I agree, Adam. They hadn't stopped us all night. Yeah. They got us for a loss that time.
And the loss was a pretty significant loss.
He lost about 4 yards on the carry. But they'll back him up 10 instead from the spot and make it first down and 20.
So it does, in a sense, take ICC out of a reasonable field goal attempt if they are able to hold it from here. So it will be first and 20 here for ICC. 2 receivers on both sides of the football. There's Waddington in the backfield with Mills out of the shotgun. Trojans showing pressure, now fall out of it. Mills, he's going to let to take off and run this time. He's going to try to get to the outside. Trojans giving chase, and he's going to just run out of bounds that time. So don't know if that might have been a design draw from the get-go, guys, because Mills was quick to run that time. But Mills has ran the ball well tonight, Mr. Jim.
Done very well. He got 4 yards back there. Still second down, second and 16, but we got a good drive going here. 14-7. Indians up over the Trojans. 13:40 left in the second quarter.
So it is second down and 16 as we talked about it there. We're in the second quarter of play. Sophomore night here. ICC will be on the road for the rest of the year. They go to Southwest next Thursday and finish up the regular season. And if they win tonight, with a chance to make it to the playoffs at Northwest in 2 weeks. Mills looking to throw over the middle, and a man falls down in that situation, wanting the flag called, but the referee said it was an unintentional contact that time. So now it's going to bring up a third down and 16 situation.
It's tough to have unintentional contact when you run a slant over the middle of the field and get hit from behind, but maybe I had a bad look at it. Nobody seemed to be too aggravated about it.
Adam, I don't think Jordan's agreeing with the official there. What do you think?
Well, he's stepping on my territory. That's supposed to be what I do.
I know. Well, I mean, I'm just telling you what I saw there.
Yes.
I'll let Adam complain about it. So first time tonight we've seen ICC in this third and long territory. Probably 4 down territory if you can do something positive here.
So third down and 16. 3:18 to go. The clock is stopped after that incomplete pass. Mills looking to throw. Looks towards the sideline. Lost one up. He's got a man one-on-one opportunity there, but what a great defensive play on the part of Mississippi Delta. Just went up and batted the ball away. If he's thinking of catching it, he probably intercepts that ball, guys.
Yeah, it was underthrown. He had a chance. That was Kyle Cass, the sophomore, one of those guys out of Mobile we talked about in the pregame show, where he's right there. And maybe Quay Tucker had a step on him. Maybe not. He was pretty much right there with him step for step, and that thing comes in a little bit underthrown, gets a hand on it, and bats it away. And now, rarely are you going to see a team punt it from inside their own 30, but it looks like Benjamin's out there to punt this one for the Indians.
I guess we want to pin them deep.
Well, the Indians defense has been playing well from time, so Benjamin, who will be on to attempt this Little Caesars punt here on a 4th and 16. He's going to pooch punt this one away. It's going to be angled towards the sideline. It's going to hit and roll, and ICC makes the stop.
Well, that's the thing. If you're going to punt it in that situation, you cannot kick it into the end zone. I mean, if you kick that thing into the end zone, it basically goes down as an 8-yard net punt. So you've got to make sure you get your guys down there. You get on the football inside the 5. They do that. So you punt it from inside your own 30. but you give Delta a long way to go to find the end zone.
Well, clearly a different officiating crew this week because we touched the ball at the 1. If it's last week's crew against Holmes, the ball's going to be downed at the 1, but they do properly down it where the ball was stopped on the field, so it's going to be out to the 5-yard line where Delta will have it a first down and 10. 14-7 is your score. There's 13:05 to play here until halftime. We do invite you to stay tuned for the Little Caesars halftime report. The ICC All-American Band will be performing, and they'll also be honored during halftime. This is going to be a handoff up the middle, and the Indians are there to stuff that one nicely.
Yeah, big lick right there in the middle as those linebackers step through. They recognize play early on, and Keyshawn Parker leads the attack with Jamal Shumpert to make that tackle right there close to the line of scrimmage.
Wow, favorable spot. Looking at the replay, they knocked him back for a loss of 1.
You know, Keyshawn Parker has led the attack every game this year. Has done an outstanding job at linebacker from Calhoun City.
Absolutely. Second down and 10. They actually give him a small gain on the play. Hand off to the outside. Now gets a block. Gets across the corner to the 10. And he's going to be ran out of bounds. And, yeah, Mr. Jim, I agree. There was a holding right there on the end, but no flag thrown.
It was close, Adam, but the referee let it go. Good running. Good movement on the offense and first down. For Delta, they moved the ball out to their own 18-yard line. First and 10, Delta.
So 12:18 to go here. 14-7, ICC with the lead. You've got 2 receivers on the far side of the field, and Delta's going to let to keep this one on the ground. And there's the Indians to make the stop.
That east-west run, that off-tackle style run play that we've seen Delta try to go to a few times, that's not there right now. I mean, the linebackers are stepping in there and cleaning up tackles because the defensive end, they're winning the battles out wide. As one of those big offensive linemen for Delta, the left tackle from Memphis, Tennessee, John Richter, comes limping off the field. And when I mentioned left tackle, may I add, 6'6", 370 left tackle at that.
He's easy to see run off the field. That was Shumpert on that previous tackle, one of the sophomores that was honored before the game tonight. So it's going to be a second down and 9 situation. Quarterback looks like he's going to run the option, and he's going to be hit and tripped up, and a nice job in the backfield that time by Parker.
Yeah, I mean, this ICC defense played exceptional defense last week against a Holmes team who went exclusively to the triple option. I mean, they ran that wishbone against you all night long. That time more of a speed option, trying to get outside the numbers there, but nowhere to go offensively with that style play for Delta.
Third down and 8 is the situation coming up on 11 minutes left here in the second quarter. ICC with a 14-7 advantage over the Trojans here on sophomore night, the last home game of the year for the ICC football team. As Delta looking towards the sideline now, 5 seconds left on the clock, and there's movement all around. And let's see if they're going to say that ICC made him jump or if the lineman fell off or got an offside or illegal procedure penalty called there. And we'll let them talk this one over. And tell you what, when you're at 350, 340, 370 or above, if you start leaning backwards, it's hard to stop.
Yeah, it looked like ICC was going to dial up a blitz package there on 3rd and 8, try to get into the backfield to cause Byron Walker a little bit of trouble. It moved just a little bit early. They're going to get flagged for the offsides call.
So free 5 yards there for the Indians, so that's going to make things a lot more manageable here. 3rd down and a long 3 for the Trojans. 2 receivers on both sides of the football. The ICC look like they're showing pressure again, this time coming off the edge. And pass over the middle, and it's going to be caught. That's going to be, a big-time hit at the end of the play there as that pass reeled in that time by Jones. Tell you what, he had about a half a second to get rid of the football and was able to get that one around. And when you got a guy like Jones, you feel comfortable just throwing it in the zip code of his area, Mr. Jim.
Jordan and Adam, he really got tagged, but you're right, Jordan. He's a special receiver. He knew where the first down marker was. He got there. First down for the Trojans. 10-10 left in the second quarter. ICC 14, Delta 7.
And there's a lot of comfort in that for a quarterback when they look down the barrel of the gun there and they see all that pressure coming in and to know you've got a guy that you could throw it out his way. He's probably going to be able to go make a play. That's basically what you saw right there from Byron Walker on that 3rd and short.
Handoff this time to the running back in the backfield. He's going to be able to fight forward and pick up some positive yardage there, as that was Morrell who was able to get gain of 2 on the play that time. So you're starting to see Delta kind of stick a little bit more to that running game and try to use some of that size up front to their advantage.
Which has surprised me. I mean, the one touchdown they've got was on the long, deep ball that went from Walker over to LeBaron Jones on the go route outside the numbers. And since then, we've not seen them attack the back end of that secondary. So see if they're trying to lull ICC to sleep here or what exactly the formula is offensively, because they've only done that one time and then went for points.
3 receivers here on the near side of the field. Now they are going to drop back to pass. Plenty of time to throw now. They throw it out to Jones, who's going to try to get out in the open field, but a beautiful open field tackle that time. A significant pickup, though, but I tell you what, guys, if number 8, Smith, doesn't make that play for the Indians, that's going to go for a long, long gain for the Trojans.
There's no doubt about it. Jones is going to get another 10 yards and get the first down. Good job by Nick Smith. Now it's third down, third and a long 2 for the Trojans.
But offensively, they've got you guessing right now. I mean, they've been very balanced between the run game, between the pass game. They've shown that they can do lots of different things with their offensive personnel. As you see, they'll go 2 receivers left, 2 right, and they'll put the running back, who's the second leading rusher in the state, Pat Johnson, off the left shoulder of the quarterback.
Third down and 2. Play action fake. Pressure coming up the middle for the Indians. The pass is going to be, almost intercepted in and out of the hands of ICC that time.
Peyton Ray.
Yeah, Peyton Ray. I think Ray was thinking run as that one was at his knees. One of those, if you're Peyton Ray, you're going to love to have that opportunity again.
Well, and that out route was open for Treyvion Miles if it would have been on time. As Walker looked to the right, then he came back across the field for his second option, and by the time he fired it in there, Peyton Ray had dropped down and really had stepped right in front of the wide receiver. If he gets that pass out about 2 seconds earlier, it's probably good for the first down. But nonetheless, he's lucky he wasn't running backwards to try to make a tackle.
Lane McGregor on to punt this one as he's had a 50-plus yarder earlier in the contest. This one is going to be hit and is going to take a roll, and Delta's just going to get out of the way of it. Or, excuse me, ICC is going to get out of the way of it.
They didn't do a very good job of getting out of the way of it.
Almost hit his foot.
And, guys, you can tell that wind blowing right to left. McGregor, who, by the way, is a great punter, didn't need the wind, but he was able to get the wind to nearly have a 60-yard punt. I think it was a 52, 58-yard punt he had in the first quarter. That one, you could tell when it got up in the air, it got a certain height, the wind kind of knocked it down, but the Indians do get the stop. But another good punt. This one's going to be down at about the 23-yard line, where it'll be a 1st and 10 situation here for the Indians. Mills, your quarterback. 2 receivers on the far side of the field. And looks like Quarles is going to be in the backfield with Mills this time, who will be in the shotgun. Quarles will be to his right. Mills changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Going to get the snap. Looks to his right. Nothing there. Now he's going to be forced out of the pocket. He's going to throw as he's hit up the field, and it's caught.
Oh, they're going to say it was not caught, that he had his left foot out of bounds as he came back to the football. That was 13 Jalen Gale, who does just as he's coached. That's a comeback there. So as the play takes more time, the quarterback rolls your way, you come back to him. He did that. And I thought he may have got the right foot in, but they're going to say he did not. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
And great job by Clark Mills. Going to his back, had enough strength to throw the ball on the line. Great pass, just a good defensive play. A little bit out of bounds, I guess, Jordan.
2nd down and 10, 8:15 to go here in the second quarter. ICC with a 14-7 advantage over Mississippi Delta. Pressure coming up the middle. Mills recognizes it. Now he's going to step up, loads up, goes downfield. Got a man, jump ball, tipped, and going to fall incomplete. Well, I'll tell you what, that last second for Delta, it was McCullum coming in and making the play. And the Indians, though, I like the deep threat. It was there, but again, Sean talked about this in his pregame show. It looks like that Delta's out of position on some plays. They always manage to come in and make a stop.
They were right there. The cornerback was beat. The safety was late coming over the top. That's a post over the middle, and if Clark's able to get just a little bit more mustard on that ball, he could throw Jalen Gale open, and that's a touchdown. Ball just a little bit underthrown. That allows that secondary to get back into the play and makes the whole thing a lot more difficult.
So 3rd down and 10 is the situation. 8:08 to play here until halftime. ICC leads at 14-7 here over the Trojans of Mississippi Delta. Mills dropping back to pass. Pressure coming again. Now Mills having to dance around, rolling to his left, lobs it over the top, looking for Woods, and Woods just runs out of real estate. And a good job that time by Delta, was able to get that penetration and break that play up.
Yeah, and it's Clark. And we talked about Jalen Gale doing the right thing earlier as he came back to the football. Well, there, the corner was in between Collins, Woods, and the quarterback. Your coach there, you go the other way. You backpedal, and you get open, and you let him put it over the top. That time, Woods didn't backpedal. He didn't get into the best position, and there just really wasn't much that Clark could do with the football.
You're right, Jordan. Let's give Delta some credit. You know, we moved the ball up and down the field first quarter. The last 2 series, they stopped this 3 and out.
Good snap back on this Little Caesars punt as it's going to be stepped into, but not a good kick here as it was almost off his shin. It's going to hit at the 48 and roll backwards, and Delta's going to have great field position here after getting that stop defensively. A little bit of pushing and shoving going on after the play, but the referees did a good job of coming in and sending guys to their side of the field and ICC to their side. So it's going to be a 1st down and 10, ball at midfield here for Delta. They trail at 14-7 with 7:51 to go here until halftime.
Yeah, the momentum really did flip on the last 2 possessions there as Delta goes from having it all the way inside their 5, make a little bit happen offensively. Punt to ICC. ICC goes 3 and out, and now next thing Delta knows is they've got it with the nose of the football right there at the midfield stripe. So defensively, you got to hold strong. Your offense played well early, but it's kind of stumbled a little bit down here in the second quarter.
So it'll be 1st down and 10 here for Delta in the pistol formation, and they're going to jump off sides are the Indians, and must have been contact made in front of the field there, on that line of scrimmage, because they stopped the play, and ICC is going to make a line change and bring up a new defensive front.
Yeah, Sean Cannon, he's just not going to stand for that as he takes those 3 defensive linemen and asks them to come back over here and have a word, and he'll send 3 fresh bodies out there. That's the second time that's happened so far tonight, and just at this point in the year, that's not something you can stand for.
No, you can't. And Ray Williams is staring down this 3 defensive linemen just came off the field, by the way.
Ray's one of my best friends in the world, and I would not want to be on the receiving end of that death stare. So 1st down and 5 is the situation here for the Trojans. The ball now at the 45-yard line, looking to the sideline to check the play. 8 seconds on the play clock here, plenty of time. 7:49 to go until halftime. Handoff out of the pistol formation. ICC hits him, and still, once again, man, they're in the backfield. But Jackson doing a great job of still being able to fall forward when he gets tackled and gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Shaquille Brown does a good job there. He's the defensive end on the side they're pulling to, but he's able to get to the ball carrier before the pulling offensive lineman can get to him. So not much of a gain there, maybe a half a yard or so on 1st down.
This is short enough that we'll still call it 2nd down and 5 as we're 7:20 to go here until halftime. Want to be sure and stay tuned for the Little Caesars halftime report and also the ICC All-American Band as well. This time, play action. They're looking to go deep. He's got a man over the middle looking for Jones and just overthrew him that time. Looked like it might have been a little confusion on the routes there as both guys from Delta end up in the same spot.
Thought the same thing. You got the outside guy and the slot guy both ran post routes over the middle of the field. Well, you got a safety right there, and if he's got both guys coming at him, that makes his job a lot easier. You're wanting to put the back end of the secondary in conflict when you run a post route like that. You didn't put anybody in conflict there, especially when you outthrow everybody.
So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5. ICC needs to see if they can find a stop here and see if they can get the offense back on the field. 14-7, the Indians with the lead here. 7:10 to go until halftime. Pressure coming from the Indians, and that one's just going to be thrown away. Nearly intercepted, though, as he was trying to throw it away, and a good job by number 36. That was Randolph for the Indians that nearly picked that one off.
You know, there's an art as a linebacker on coming on a blitz package, and Keyshawn Parker completely has that figured out. Is you time it up, you wait till the offensive lineman commits to where he's supposed to be blocking, then you find the weakness in that hole. And he does that so well. That's exactly what he did right there. Is he's patient, he waits till it sets up, then he hits the hole at 100 miles an hour and gets all in the quarterback's face. It just causes so much disruption and so much trouble for a quarterback to get rid of the football.
Indians nearly blocked that Little Caesars punt. This is going to be hit and rolling inside the 5. And, guys, I'm going to say this. If you're Javis Wren, get away from the football.
I don't understand it. Why are you trailing the football there? It's hit at the 10 and it's bounced inside the 5. There's nothing you can do at that point. The only thing that happens by you trailing after it, like a lost dog like that, is you end up stepping on it, and they get the football inside the 5. You got to get out of the way right there to keep trouble from happening.
Guys, let's give our defense credit. They started that drive at midfield, got a 5-yard penalty. It was 1st and 5. They went 3 plays, 3 incompletions. Good job by our defense.
McGregor pins the Indians deep here once again. As we said, one of the top punters in the country, and I believe he said 16 punts down inside the 20 coming in this game, and now he's got 18 on the season.
He's got 2 tonight. He's done a very good job, and that's such a weapon for you. There's 3 phases to this game: offense, defense, and special teams. You win that special teams phase, it definitely shows.
Mills is just going to simply hand this one off to Wallington, trying to get a little bit of breathing room out of the end zone there. And he's going to stumble forward for a gain of 1, maybe 2 on the play. Gets out near the 5-yard line as the Indians starting this drive at the 3.
Yeah, big possession here for ICC as you want to definitely put points on the board before the halftime break. But if nothing else, you want to flip this field a little bit. Here late in the first half, you have definitely not won the field position battle.
It's 14-7, Indians, 6:25 left in the second quarter. Let's go 97 yards, guy. Use the clock up and go up by 2 scores.
So it will be a 2nd down. Let's call it a short 9 here for ICC. Mills looking to pass. Goes out to the flats and a whole lot of contact. I'm going to have to say probably a pass interference there as he was riding his back as the ball got to him, but the officials said play on.
And we talked about early on, Clark Mills opened up the night 7 of 9 for 138 yards and a touchdown. Since we said that, he's 1 for his last 6. He's had a little bit more trouble connecting, and you got to credit it to Mississippi Delta. On the back end of their secondary, they've really locked in and played a lot better than they did those first 2 possessions of the night.
So a conversion down coming up here for the Indians. 3rd down and 9. 6:13 to go until halftime. The clock is stopped. Mills with 2 receivers on both sides of the football. Waddington in the backfield with him. Changing the play now. Switches Waddington from his left to his right. Ball is at the 4-yard line. Mills dropping back to pass. Plenty of time to throw. Loads up and tries to get this one downfield. And they have to say you had to throw the flag on that one as number 3, Cass, had a handful of jersey on Woods, who was trying to go back to the ball that time. And, guys, Indians get bailed out on that one.
Yeah, he was lined up outside the numbers, and he's trying to curl at the 20. Was plenty for the first down. And as he came out of that curl, it looked like Cass had his shoulder and had the whole jersey pulling on him, keeping him from doing that. So that's an easy way to convert it for ICC. And, hey, that's a big play there. A big penalty is, I mean, you move the chains, but that keeps you from having to look at punting from standing underneath your own goalpost.
You're right, Jordan. We would have had to punt from the 4-yard line. They would have had great field position, at least midfield, with 6 minutes left into the second quarter. Instead, we get a 15-yard penalty. 1st and 10 Indians at their own 19-yard line.
Yeah, the Indians need to cash in on this new set of downs here. This first down being brought to you by your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox. 1st and 10. The ball is going to be at the 19-yard line. Mills alone in the backfield. Pressure coming up the middle. Mills is going to try to get away from it, and he's going to be hit as he throws. And I tell you what, if he waits about another half a second, that's probably going to be a fumble, as that was great pressure coming in on the backside that time by the speedy Marshall of Delta.
Yeah, and some guys are wanting an intentional grounding call on that, but the official does a good job motioning, hey, that pass was tipped. It was going to get out of bounds. It was batted away by an offensive lineman. That rules out the intentional grounding call. So Clark gets rid of the football, live to see another day here on 2nd and 10. That's now 6 consecutive incomplete passes, though, for ICC.
So 2nd down and 10 is the situation. Clock is stopped with 5:59 to go here until halftime. Guys, we were talking in the break that we thought this one might turn into a shootout. Well, guess what? No.
Slowed down, hasn't it?
And the give is going to be to Waddington, who now kind of shifts his way through the middle of the field, dancing around, stiff arms, able to fight forward, and a whole lot of running for only 4 yards that time. But I tell you what, again, good job by by Waddington being shifty to be able to turn that into a 4-yard gain.
You know, all year long, Hiram Waddington has had to do a lot of, most of the yards he's got has been stuff he's done on his own. He shows that shifty nature right there. As far as just finding a hole, getting into that hole and running through it, he's not been able to do that kind of thing. But he's found running room on his own, and he's been able to really make the run game have to be respected.
3rd down and 6 is the situation. Inside 5.5 now to go until halftime. ICC with a 14-7 lead over Delta. Mills looking to pass. Now goes the opposite side and looking for Flowers. Flowers slips off a tackle. Now it's just going to be a foot race here for Flowers, and he's going to be tripped up just shy of the 50-yard line.
Yeah, good job there. There he is, Barry Flowers. You've got to get him involved in the offense. They do it there, and he's electrifying. I mean, as soon as his hands get on the football, he's difficult to bring down. And Clark, he had options there as he looked over here to his left, and it looked like Waddington was wide open with a blocker. He looked him off and got the football to Barry Flowers anyway.
So the ball will be marked at the 49-yard line, where to be a 1st down and 10 here for the Indians. Trying to see if they can find a way to put points on the board here before we go into halftime. 4:45 to play here in the second quarter. ICC with a 14-7 advantage. Mills dropping back to pass again. Pressure off the end. Mills has got a man downfield looking towards the sideline to Collins. Does he catch it? No. In and out of the hands of Collins that time. And Collins looked like he might have had tied up with the defensive back that time. But, man, I like the big-time call there. If you're Collins Woods, though, you've got to reel in that pass.
That's a good job defensively, though, for Deltas. I mean, they're not getting beat on that type route. They're staying right there with the football, and Woods does good. He comes back to it and gets himself in position to make the catch. But 17, McCullum,
He's been tested a lot tonight.
Gets his hands in there. Yeah, he has. But the secondary really for them has held strong, whether it was McCullum or Cass. Both sides on those long, deep routes that way, they've hung in there.
Waddington gets the handoff, and he's shot out of a cannon. Now this is just going to be a foot race here. I don't know that he's been touched, guys. This is going to be a 51-yard touchdown run for Hiram Waddington.
And, that's exactly what we were talking about a minute ago. Is he's had to do so much on his own. That time, a great block by the right guard, the right tackle, opens a hole off the right side. He's able to hit that thing hard, and he runs straight through it and runs away from everybody else. That's the kind of blocking you want to see with a running back like Hiram Waddington.
Guys, I said when we got the ball to 3, let's use up 5 minutes and go 97 yards. We used up 2 minutes and went 97 yards.
That's going to be an early nominee for our Davis Ford drive of the game as ICC takes a 20-7 advantage now and awaiting the extra point. The hold was bobbled for a second, but the kick is up, and the kick is good. 21-7, ICC with the lead. Let's hear from Davis Ford as we'll be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
Davis Ford in Fulton is your Ford dealer for new cars, trucks, and SUVs and has a wide inventory of certified pre-owned vehicles. Find your next dream car or truck from our Ford showroom or go online to davisfordsales.com and search our new and used inventory to see what is on our lot. So stop by and test drive the all-new fuel-efficient Ford Focus or Ford Fusion or the new Ford Explorer or F-150. Go further with Davis Ford, 904 West Main Street in Fulton or online davisfordsales.com.
And welcome back as ICC takes a 21-7 lead here over Delta. 4:24 to go here until halftime. You just heard that commercial from Davis Ford, a proud sponsor of ICC Athletics, as we're getting set for this First American National Bank kickoff here. And Davis Ford, well, for Mr. Jim, they're about I'd say a solid 9-iron here from the Eaton Field, as they've been a longtime sponsor of ICC Athletics. And don't forget, First American National Bank, follow the flag from Iuka to Tupelo. First American National Bank, a proud sponsor of ICC Athletics this evening here on Super Talk Mississippi, as well as Let'sGoICCTV.com. This kickoff is going to be taken at the 15-yard line. That's going to be Jones with the ball in his hands, and he is trouble. Now breaks to the outside. He's got one man to beat to take this one to the house. They did a great job of forcing him back inside. And is there a flag down? Yes, there appears to be a flag down near the 42-yard line. So we'll see what this one is. And if you're an ICC fan, you hope this is going to be a holding call. And that's what you got to do. If you're going to kick off those short kickoffs, you want to make sure you locate where number 8 is and
don't kick it anywhere near him. I'm telling you, every time he's touched the football tonight, he's been dangerous. As it will be a hold. That goes against Delta. That will negate that good field position. But, my goodness, let's not let LeBaron Jones have it on a kick return anymore.
So a big-time break there for the Indians, as that's basically going to flip the field position, guys. As they got it out to, about the 33-yard line on that return, and now they're going to back it up close to the 30 on the opposite side of the field. Right. It looks like it's going to be actually a return to the 32-yard line. So, just total opposite of where you were, Mr. Jim, on the positive side of the 50.
It's about a 45 yards difference, and it really helps the Indians. We're up 21-7, 4:14 left to halftime. First and 10 Trojans from their own 32-yard line instead of our 33-yard line.
So in that pistol formation, now they shift him up a little bit more closer to the quarterback, and they're going to run that option. They quickly pitch it out this time. The Indians are there, and there should be a holding call. No call that time. He grabbed the shoulder of number 8 for the Indians. That was Smith, and so much so Smith walks up to the referee and points at his shoulder pad and said, hey, my jersey's tucked underneath my shoulder pad right now.
That's terrible. They run an option play to the near side. It was an early pitch. Nick Smith's all over it. And I thought it could have been a hold. I thought it could have been a block in the back, a multitude of things. Nonetheless, they only pick up 2 yards on the play.
Well, Jordan, I know this is your first year with us on the broadcast. That's what we call JUCO, baby. Looking to go deep. He's got a man down the sideline, and it's going to be batted away, underthrown that time. But I tell you what, good job by ICC. That's Williams. He was step for step with Washington down the sidelines, was able to break that one up.
Yeah, Jaquan Williams, good play there. As you mentioned, step for step up the near sideline. It's a go route, so your job is, hey, it's a foot race when you run a go route outside the numbers, and the cornerback does a good job staying right there off that inside shoulder, gets that left hand up, knocks that thing away. That's exactly how Coach Marcellus speaks once his DBs to play that ball.
3:44 to go until halftime. 3rd down and 8 now is the situation here for the Trojans. A possession down. Can the Indians find a way to get off the field? Looking to pass. Double pumps over the middle, and it's going to be in and out of the hands, off the fingertips of Jones that time. And I think Jones heard the rumbling feet of Octavius McClatchy coming in and caused him to have a few little alligator arms out there.
Yeah, that thing was definitely open. It was about a 15-yard in route right at the midfield stripe. And, he had running room when he got his hands on the football too, but just wasn't able to quite get both hands on that thing and pull it down. And nonetheless, we'll see the punter, McGregor, have to come back out once again. That's been a common theme here in the first half for Delta, is even when you got a good punter, you don't want to have to run him out there that much.
So McGregor waiting back for this snap is a good one. He's going to get it, be able to step into it. Indians brought pressure, but was able to kick it away without an issue. Wren's going to come up and catch this one. Breaks off a tackle across the 40. And I'll tell you what, guys, if it wasn't for number 15 that time, Green for Delta, Wren had a lot of running room after that. So a great defensive play that time on the part of Green.
And we got great field position, Jordan. We got the ball at our own 43-yard line. We got all 3 timeouts, plenty of time, 3:27 left the half. We're up 21-7. Would love to get a few more points before halftime.
Yeah, you got to like where you sit right now. You're up 2 possessions, as you mentioned, 3:27 to go, and a whole multitude of timeouts under your belt. So really the whole offense is open for you to do what you'd like to here as you take it over at the 43-yard line. But yet coming out of the break, too, the halftime break, you'll get the football then, too. So you've really got the momentum over here on your sideline right now.
So it is a first down and 10 here, as Mills is going to hand this one off in the backfield. This is going to be Quarles, who spins off a tackle, trying to find somewhere to go. Nothing doing there. And a late flag coming in on the play, and this one looks like it may be against the Indians here.
That's probably going to be a hold. And for the second, or I guess 2 out of the last 3 possessions,
that was the
first
case.
Down play gets pushed backwards on a hold.
You know, if you look at it, guys, so far tonight, and Mr. Jim, you can speak on this, the Indians have been their own worst enemies in this situation. When they do able to move the ball forward, they've been able to do some positive things. But when they do get that first down penalty, is when they've been unable to keep these drives going in a positive manner.
You're right, Adam. We've been behind the chains. You know, we're 1st and 20 now, like we were a while ago, and they forced us to punt, I believe, when we were 1st and 20. Still, we got plenty of time. All 3 timeouts, 3:15 clock running. We're up 21-7 here in the second quarter.
So Mills in the shotgun. You've got 2 receivers at the bottom of the field here. Now Quarles going to go in motion. Mills in the backfield by himself. Looking to throw. Thought about going over the middle. Now he's going to be hit as he stumbles forward. And a good job by Mills that time to wrap up the football and make sure he didn't lose it that time.
Yeah, he's got 1 tackle. If he can run out of that thing there at the 35, he's going to pick up 10 or 12 yards and get you right back to where you originally had it at. Good coverage all downfield, though. There was only 4 guys in the secondary that time, but they stayed man-on-man everywhere and didn't give Clark Mills anywhere to go with the football.
It looked like they were looking for Woods on a fly route down the middle of the field that time, and credit the pressure also of a collapsing pocket, forcing him to get rid of the football. 2nd down and 10 is the situation. The ball is on the 19-yard line. 2:28 and counting here until halftime. ICC is going to have to hurry as they're sending in some late substitutions. May have to burn a timeout here. 3 seconds on the play clock, and yes, they are. Timeout on the field. We're going to take the timeout with them and hear a word from all of our sponsors here on the ICC Sports Network, as well as Super Talk Mississippi. ICC leads at 21-7 with 2:18 to go until halftime. Back with more right after this.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
And welcome back out of that timeout. 2:18 to play here in the second quarter. ICC with a 21-7 lead here on sophomore night over Mississippi Delta. They come out of the timeout with a 2nd down and 19 situation here. And Jordan, you talked about it. The Indians would love to find a way to put points on the board here because they do get the football to start the second half and can really start to open up this football game.
Yeah, good news. You got 2:18 to go in the half. You got 2 timeouts under your belt. Bad news, you're facing a 2nd and 20 right here coming out of the timeout.
So Mills dropping back to pass. Pressure goes over the middle. He's got a man if he can get to it. Yes, he does!
That's what you want to see on the deep ball right there is Damian Ely, the 6'3", 200-pound sophomore, runs right in under the long throw from Clark Mills. He throws his guy open right there. That's what you want to see is just a post back over the middle, lead your guy far enough to let him run in under it. Ely does just that. Nice pitch and catch there with a pair of sophomores.
Yeah, it's good to have a healthy Ely on the field here if you're an ICC fan. So the Indians with it now, looking to keep it on the air attack, goes over the middle, jump ball, and is caught. And a big-time hit there on the end of the play, and that's going to be a targeting at the end of the play as well as he launched into the player. So the referees did quickly throw those flags as he was a defenseless receiver. And, yeah, a pair of flags come in there. And, guys, it's just one of those that it's a new brand of football. You could get away with that back in the day, but not so much this day and age in football. So the referees will talk this one over, and you got to think with the launch on the play, and that's the big thing there, is the fact that he could have checked up and ran into him. Yes, that would have been okay, but he launched into the player there, Mr. Jim, and as the referees are talking this one over, they're going to make sure everybody's on the same page before they decide to eject or not.
I think you're right, Adam, and he did take a vicious hit there at the end of the play, and I think they will call it. Whoa,
they're going to say no foul for targeting.
No foul.
Well, okay then. If that's not targeting, then there's no such. Get rid of the rule.
Well, here's my thing. I wish the guys at the NFL level would watch this, or the Division I level would watch this. If we're not going to throw it right there, where are we going to throw it?
And why'd they throw the flag?
Yeah.
I thought.
And there was two
close.
flags on the field.
Yeah.
So either way it goes, first down and goal to go from the 8 here for the Indians. The give is going to be to Quarles, who cuts it back up the middle, lowers his head and bullies his way forward down to about the 2, maybe 3-yard line, and a big boy run there by Quarles.
I mean, that guy embodies everything there is about a goal line power style back. I mean, he was born seriously about 25 years too late. He is begging to be in an I formation and run north and south and get the football downhill. I love seeing Jamarcus Quarles get the handoff down inside the 10-yard line.
And imagine you'll probably see that again here as the Indians keep the same formation. Quarles in the backfield to the left of Mills. Mills gets the snap. There is going to be the handoff to Quarles. Quarles bounces it back up the middle. He's going to take it into the house and bully his way into the end zone. Touchdown Indians.
I mean, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, he gets the football. The offensive line on the left side gets completely blown up. He bounces off his own guy and finds just a small little place to run through and slithers through there, runs over whoever gets in the way, and falls into the end zone. That's the type of running back you've got down deep inside your own or in territory with Jamarcus Quarles.
Well, that was number 23, Jaquazian Johnson, that was on the receiving end of that tattooing hit as Quarles went into the end zone. The snap back is up, the kick is up, and the kick is good. Big time drive there for the Indians, guys. Let's keep it here with under a minute to play until halftime. We talked about it. If ICC can find a way to put points on the board, they do get the football back to start the second half, Mr. Jim. But now if you're that ICC defense, you got to know that Delta does have that deep pass threat in this situation, so you want to make sure you can keep them off the board in this final minute of the first half.
You're right, Adam. You don't relax here. Yes, we're up 28-7, but they got a minute. They've got 3 timeouts here left. Play good pass defense, get some help from our safeties over the top. Make sure they don't break a long pass on us. Get that minute to run off and go into the locker room with a 28-7 lead.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, if you wanted to draw up how you want to conclude a half, I mean, it couldn't be any better than what's happened right here. Is if you want your defense to come out, you want to get a stop with less than a minute to go. They've got all 3 timeouts, and they've got a quarterback that can really pitch it around the yard. So you want to play sound defensively. I would expect them to come out guns a-blazing and try to put some points on right here before the halftime break. But all things considered, you got to feel pretty good about where you're at right here.
Well, I talked to Tommy Chamley earlier in the week. He was in Canada with a conference. Well, you know he's loving this Indians offensive performance tonight because we've had a lot of these First American National Bank kickoffs, and this kickoff is going to go into the end zone, so a nice job there by number 35 for the Indians. That's Benson. And Benson, well, he's been inserted into this role on the kickoffs due to some injuries, and that's the second one we've seen this season he's been able to put into the end zone.
Yeah, that's, as we talked about last week, it's been quite the interesting year for Benson, the linebacker. I believe Mr. Benson, he is one of those guys that is from Water Valley. That's correct. So a freshman, 5'11", 212, said he did kick some back in his high school days, so it's not something that's foreign to him. But as he's adopted that position, has had to take over there over the course of the last couple of weeks. All things considered, I'd say the young man's done a pretty good job.
28-7 with 58 seconds to go here in the second quarter. ICC with the lead. Delta's just going to hand it off and squirt out to about the 31-yard line. And, guys, you think Delta might, well, no, now they're going to get a little bit more hurry here to see if they can get back to the line of scrimmage.
And that makes no sense to me. If you're going to go with a tempo, I mean, they've ran 10 seconds off the clock already before snapping it. Now they're trying to get readjusted.
And they're still adjusting,
I mean,
folks.
it just doesn't make any sense.
And, Jordan, they got all 3 timeouts.
Over 20 seconds has ran off the clock now as they're now trying to get people in line. 28 seconds now. And now they're going to drop back, looking to pass, looking to dial up, going long down the field, looking for Jones, and it's overthrown. Another great coverage that time out of Williams, step for step down the field with Jones, and you knew that's where they were going to go in that situation, and you saw ICC kind of cheating over as well.
He's definitely improved over the course of the year. As Williams didn't get a ton of playing time early on. He's stepped in now, though. He's out there just about every snap defensively. He plays that thing perfect. He works his way out in front of the wide receiver. He works him towards the out-of-bounds line, and there's really was nowhere for the football to go on that long throw.
22 seconds to play now as they're going to hand this one. Oh, the quarterback's going to keep it. He's going to be hitting the backfield, and the Indians make the stop.
Yeah, Corley Hooper, the outside backer, plays that just as well as he can. He's the guy that's being read by the quarterback on that run play. Quarterback keeps, Hooper plays it perfectly, and he gets him by the ankle and pulls him to the ground.
Yeah, and they're going to take a timeout in this situation. Will be a fourth down, or it was ICC.
ICC took timeout.
Took the timeout.
They're going to make them punt it.
So they're going to make them punt it, and why not? Everything going your way here for the Indians in the latter part of the second quarter. They do lead at 28-7 here with 16.1 seconds to play. And you imagine that Delta will come in, and they will send the punter out here as they actually send the team in from the sidelines as ICC did take the timeout.
Yeah, they've only got 9 players on the field right now, though. And there comes Mr.
They might be trying to sneak somebody on late to maybe take a shot deep, but I wouldn't do it in this situation for sure.
I've still just got 10. There comes number 11 sprinting onto the field. As I was counting here, and I said, that's only 9, and then there's 10. They finally get all 11 out there on the field for this punt. 16.1 seconds to go in the first half.
McGregor boots this one downfield. It's going to be taken at about the 36-yard line by Wren, who's going to try to get to the sideline. Flags are flying, and more flags are flying as there was a tattooed shot on the sideline. So with 6.3 seconds left, this is the first half that will not end here as more whistles are being blown, but I think they're just making sure everybody gets to their proper sidelines here. Wren took a pretty nasty hit there at the end of that play.
Yeah, the officiating crew is going to have to run the yellow flags through the laundry tonight, too, because I think everybody out there threw one on that play.
So the referees are going to pontificate over this call.
What was that word?
Pontificate. Talk amongst yourselves.
I'm impressed.
Yes, it's a gathering of friends that sit around and talk.
You've been sitting around reading old Webster, huh?
Well, it's a friend of mine says, Gore, I can tell when you don't sleep during the week. You start using bigger words in your broadcast, and I didn't sleep well last night. Maybe I just need to not sleep.
We didn't learn those words at South Tella High School.
I learned them here at ICC.
Okay,
so,
okay.
No, you just have a plethora of information.
Now Jim's throwing them out there.
Here we go.
That one, Jim, but pontificate? Is that what the word was? I'm almost scared to say that.
I know it. It doesn't sound right, does it?
Well, the Indians will be in the shotgun here with the first down and 10. The ball is going to be at the 39-yard line after the penalty marked off against the Indians here. And they're going to hand it off. This is going to be to Wilson right up the middle. Wilson breaks over the middle across the 50, and it's going to be down to the 40-yard line. And, the Indians just couldn't get the timeout called quick enough.
Mr. Wilson there finds some running room, and I tell you, if he runs out of one more tackle there in the secondary, he was going to steal a touchdown away late in the first half. I think ICC's got a good one. I know Hiram Wadlington is playing his last football game under the lights here at Eaton Field more than likely, but you got to feel pretty good about the running back position with Jamarcus Quarles and R.J. Wilson.
Your score here at halftime, 28-7, ICC with the lead. We're going to take a quick break and come back with the Little Caesars halftime report. Indians up big here. Hopefully they can find a way to close it out in that second half. Back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you, wherever you go. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
Everyone has a unique story to tell. Maybe your story has you performing your new song in front of a crowd, getting to play your favorite sport, or enjoying a horseback ride in the country. At Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our group of skilled surgeons understand your need to continue your story. That is why we are the preferred choice for orthopedic care. Thank you for choosing us. Our story is you. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the ICC All-American Band sophomore members being honored here at halftime. ICC leads it 28-7 here at halftime. 114 sophomores being honored. We'll take you to the field for this.
Alexis Baskins, Maggie Banks, Brooke Bennett, Raina Bogan, Troy Bone, Alexis Bradley, Kenya Bradley, Summer Brasfield, Jakira Brooks, Lorena Brown, Brontier Buchanan, Rain Burt, Eli Buse, Davion Calmise Walker, Kiera Calvert, Tristan Calvert, Mary Grace Cheney, Akira Chu, Nick Clements, Wayne Clunan, Acacia Colburn, Christian Colburn, Osidarius Coleman, Destiny Collier, Jasmine Connor, Britt Cooper, Nicholas Cooper, Lexi Crafton, Tyler Prim, Evelyn Cruz, Bailey Daniels, Allison Davis, Caitlin Doss, Shemaya Ellis, Ashlyn Estes, Alfonso Fernandez, Josiah Fields, Patrick Flannery, Gracie Fulbright, Christian Gann, Kanijah Gavon, Reed Goodson, Sarah Goolsby, Labracia Griffin, Austin Guntharp, Isaac Hall, Jeremiah Hall, James Harris, Chloe Hatfield, Maggie Head, Ethan Hester, Keaton Higgins, Jessica Hill, Braden Holcomb, Laura Grace Holland, Alyssa Holloway, Felicity Holmes, Cody Hunter, Jacob Irby, Emily Johnson, Cameron Johnson, Tucker Johnson, Daniela Jones, Tierra Lackey, Abigail Langley, Hunter Lindsay, Austin Long, Weston Mask, Trey McCarter, Lydia McCoy, TJ McIntosh, Kaya McMillan, Akila McNary, Austin Owen, Layla Owen, Emily Palmer, Alan Pease, Haley Phillips, Stephanie Ramage, Sarah Ramey, Ethan Gray, Nikki Reese, Sloan Robbins, Serenity Rory, Nathan Rudisill, Savannah Scott, Emily Schaefer, Reagan Shaw, Marisa Strumpert, Max Maglick, Sam Smith, Kelsey Speed, Corey Spellins, Ashlyn Thomas, Jake Vander Kerkhove, Destiny Vaughn, Destiny Wages, Sarah Ware, Jasper Watts, Chelsea Weatherspoon, Dalton Webb, Andrew Wells, Alexis Horton, Kim Williams, Akira Wilson, Colby Wilson, Carissa Wilson, Haley Young, Hannah Young, and Cassidy Young. Thank you again, ICC All-American Band Sophomores.
Get a Little Caesars large, extra most bestest stuffed crust pizza, topped with pepperoni and cheese, and stuffed with over 3 feet of cheese in the crust. That's right, we stuffed cheese into the crust of the pizza with extra cheese and the most pepperoni. All at the nation's best price of just $9. Try our convenient app and Pizza Portal pickup.
Pizza.
Student involvement is a top priority here at Itawamba Community College.
If you want to be involved with student government, then the Student Government Association is the place for you.
If you have a stellar GPA, then Phi Theta Kappa is for you.
If you're interested in the diverse culture of our campus population, then the Diversity Club is for you.
If you're interested in leadership and service, then Indian Delegation is for you.
If you're majoring in computer programming or computer networking, then CPNA, the Computer Programming Networking Association, is for you.
If you're interested in good conversations and free lunch on Thursdays, then the Wesley Foundation is for you.
Our health science programs also have specific organizations for those majors.
Student Activities is excited to bring you new opportunities here at the ICC Tupelo campus.
Whatever your passion may be, we have a place for you.
This video is brought to you by Phi Theta Kappa, Beta Chi Sigma, Tupelo campus.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Itawamba Community College is proud to present to you the 2019 ICC All-American Marching Band. We are thrilled to perform for you this year's program, The Evolution of Gaming, featuring music from some of the most popular video games of our time. We open our program this evening with the music from the 1980 Atari game, Space Invaders. And now, ladies and gentlemen, your ICC All-American Marching Band! Sega game Sonic the Hedgehog featuring Cole Racewick and Jane Buchanan. Continues with the music from the 1992 video game Mortal Kombat, featuring our percussion. bringing you music from the 2001 video game Halo, featuring our little grass. With the 2003 video game Call of Duty featuring Jeremiah Etheridge. Alabama. Percussion captains are Cody Hunter, Lafayette, Alexis Bradley, Tupelo, Front ensemble captains are Chloe Hatfield from Alcorn Central and Jacob Irby from South Pillow. Indianette choreographer is Roxy Thomas Clayton. The ICC All-American Marching Band is under the direction of Dr. Brian Cheeseman, Christy Colbert, Eric Simmons, and Ryan Todd.
The longer a person has diabetes, the more likely they are to develop diabetic retinopathy. If left untreated, diabetic retinopathy can lead to blindness. That's why it's important for diabetics to have a comprehensive eye examination with dilation once a year. I'm Dr. Laurie Cagle of Cagle Eye Center in Fulton. We offer comprehensive eye exams to provide diagnosis and treatment of various eye diseases. Browse our large selection of frames available in prescription and non-prescription. Call to schedule your appointment today at Cagle Eye Center in Fulton.
Everyone has a unique story to tell. Maybe your story has you performing your new song in front of a crowd, getting to play your favorite sport, or enjoying a horseback ride in the country. At Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, our group of skilled surgeons understand your need to continue your story. That is why we are the preferred choice for orthopedic care. Thank you for choosing us. Our story is you. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi.
First American National Bank is a local bank. Our 10 locations are right here in Northeast Mississippi. Banking decisions are made locally by people who live here. It's been that way for more than 50 years. Our involvement in the community is important to us. That's where our roots are. Technology, it changes daily, but our community is what keeps us together. If you like high-tech banking, we've got that too. Follow the flag to First American National Bank, from Iuka to Tupelo.
The Car Hop Classic for just $2.99 is the perfect 1-2 punch of flavor and value. Time that! You need a trainer to help you eat the burger?
Hey, stay out of this. Don't get in my head, man. There's barely room for me in there.
Hurry in and try quarter-pound double cheeseburger or 6-inch Philly plus tots for $2.99.
My mom never let me eat this much cookie dough.
What would she say if she saw you eating this big scoop cookie dough blast?
I don't know. Might ask her.
Don't tell your father.
Oh, naughty, naughty.
Hurry in and scoop up our new cookie dough treats. Try order ahead to get happy hour anytime.
First American National Bank is a local bank. Our 10 locations are right here in Northeast Mississippi. Banking decisions are made locally by people who live here. It's been that way for more than 50 years. Our involvement in the community is important to us. That's where our roots are. Technology, it changes daily, but our community is what keeps us together. If you like high-tech banking, we've got that too. Follow the flag to First American National Bank, from Iuka to Tupelo.
And welcome back to Little Caesars Halftime Report. We're just about to start the second half here. And Jordan, I know you got some Sonic stats there to talk about the first half.
Yeah, some impressive numbers here from the first half. ICC leads 28-7 on sophomore night here. Last home game of the year for the Indians. You know, Jim, they come in on the year averaging 370 yards of offense. Through the first half, 398 yards of offense for the Indians, 217 through the air, 171 on the ground. Clark Mills himself is 12 of 20 with a touchdown for 217 yards. Hiram Wadlington has 7 carries with a touchdown for 103 yards. Jamarcus Quarles only 4 carries, but 2 of those have gone into the end zone for 17 yards. And then the leading receiver on the night has been Barry Flowers, who has 6 grabs for 127 yards, one of those being a touchdown. So really an offense that's exploded onto the scene on the first half here tonight.
Jordan, we're clicking on all cylinders tonight. You know, we question, not a great crowd, sophomore night, a lot of high school games being moved to tonight. But our team came out focused. They know how important this game is. They know that we have a chance to make it into the playoffs. Take care of business tonight, go to Southwest next week, a non-divisional game, and then a key game on the road at Northwest to end the season. So we're taking care of business tonight. Our offense is playing very well. You mentioned almost 400 yards offense. Defense playing very well. Also, can't relax. We're up 28-7 here at halftime. Keep the foot on the pedal, but I like what I've seen tonight. Clark Mills has been flawless. A lot of production from a lot of different people offensively, and defense playing well as usual. Linebackers flying around the ball, making plays.
Spencer Romero will put a right foot into the football, kick this second half off. Quinshawn Twilley will take the football at the 15-yard line, brings it out to the 25 before he's gang tackled that is, and that is where ICC will take over to open up the second half. They lead it 28-7, and as Jim mentioned, playoffs aren't completely out of the picture right now. You win this ball game, next week against Southwest. That is not a division matchup, and that would set up a winner goes to the playoffs matchup in Senatobia to close out the season against Northwest. So Clark Mills, who had over 200 yards in the first half, comes out, shotgun set. He'll send 2 receivers to his right and 2 to his left. Takes the snap, first play, fires pass complete to Quay Tucker at the 32-yard line, who steps out of bounds. A gain of about 8 on the first down play.
Good job, Jordan. Just a simple out pattern, 8-yard pattern. Good throw, good catch. 8 yards on the first play. Second down, 2nd and 2. Nice start here to the third quarter for the Indians.
ICC up 28-7, guys. Thanks for taking over that at halftime, trying to get Jim Holder some highlights back to run tonight on WTVA. So multitasking here. So it's going to be a handoff this time. It's going to be, it's going to be Mills keeping the football. Now he tucks it underneath side, gets the block up the field, and a nice nifty run there by Clark Mills.
That had that old Gus Malzahn play design to it. As they fake the handoff, they got the screen pass over here. If you want to take that, essentially it's a triple option out of a shotgun set. That time Mills makes the read. He keeps it up out to the 40-yard line all the way to the 44, so a nice gain there on 2nd and short.
Take a look at that Little Caesars instant replay there as Mills heads out of bounds that time. Back to live action. He's back to pass. Forced out of the pocket, now looking to throw. Will lob it up down the field and wisely throws this one out of bounds to preserve the down, and it will be 2nd down and 10.
They brought the blitz, Adam. They brought about 2 or 3 linebackers, looked like 7 or 8. Rushed him. He made a good play just to throw the ball out of bounds. Saved the yardage. Didn't get sacked. 2nd down.
So 2nd down and 10 is the situation. The clock is stopped with 14:02 to go here in the third quarter. 28-7 your score in favor of your ICC Indians. So the Indians with 2 running backs in the backfield. Looks like Wilson and Waddington there, as now Mills is going to step up and reset the play. 10 seconds on the play clock. Now snaps it with 5. They give, another play action. The ball was hit. Woods is able to get it, uses a stiff arm, gets across the 50, and looked like the ball, or maybe Mills was hit as he released the football that time, but a good job by Colin Woods III coming up and getting the football.
Yeah, not an easy play there for Woods, but definitely needed it there on 2nd down and 10. That gets you 7 yards, brings up a 3rd and short. Yeah, not exactly the best timing on that pass there, but still positive yardage. Gets you into a manageable 3rd down.
So Mills with Waddington in the backfield with him, a tight end set here. 2 receivers near side, 1. That's Woods all alone up top. As it looks like they're going to bring pressure off the right side, and they do, and that one was read nicely as Delta's going to hit him for a loss there, and Jordan just ran into the pressure that time.
That's the thing. When you identify pressure, that's where you want to throw the football. When you identify that pressure, you don't want to run straight into it, and that's what they did right there. As they had linebackers blitzing off the far side edge, and that's where the route or where the play was designed to go to Wadlington. You might want to check out of that thing if you had a little bit more time. They didn't do that, and they lose big yardage on 3rd down. They're going to have to punt.
So it'll be a Little Caesars punt coming on here. So a nice job by the Trojans to adjust and force the Indians into the punting situation. 28-7, ICC with the lead. Snap back's a good one. No pressure, plenty of time to kick, and a booming kick here. A fair catch is going to be called and taken inside the 10-yard line. And not a whole lot of breeze that time, just a strong foot out of Benjamin.
Nice punt. A spiral all the way down to the 8-yard line, Adam. Puts them deep in their territory. They got to go 92 yards. Great job by our punter. We're 12:38 left in the third period. Indians up 28-7.
You know, we've talked a lot about that wind getting behind those punts that go from right to left, but as I look up at the flags, not much wind as he let go of that one all the way down inside the 10-yard line.
So it will be a 1st down and 10. The ball is going to be marked. I like the markers actually at the 9 is where they're going to mark the football. And they're going to hand off in the backfield. The Indians are there. They eat it up in a big-time play in the backfield by ICC.
You know, that's not what I expected Delta to come out doing offensively. Is when they were able to move the football in the first half, it was in the air and it was with the deep passing game. There. This handoff goes right up the middle, and the front 7 of ICC wins the battle.
No doubt, Jordan. Loss of 3. 2nd down, 2nd and 13. We're early in the third period. 12-10 left in the third period. ICC 28, Delta 7.
And we do know Delta has that big strike ability. We saw it for their only touchdown of the game so far. Plenty of time to throw. Now rolls out dangerously in the backfield, deep in the end zone, and is just going to throw this one out of bounds. He was locked in that time on his favorite target, Jones, but ICC had him covered up.
Yeah, you can tell there's been a lot of pressure into the backfield on top of Byron Walker, because when he has had time to make a throw or to step into a pass, been very errant with it. He had the one deep throw that was very pretty that went for the long touchdown, but other than that, I mean, it's been sporadic. It's been all over the place.
So third down and a long 12, let's call it 13, as Mr. Jim said earlier. And the snap back is going to be a good one, plenty of time to throw. Now he's trying to go long, and it's going to be too tall that time. And again, looking for Jones on the short route. ICC had it covered, almost baiting him to try to throw it to Jones, and he went deep and just overthrew his target.
That's exactly what it was. I mean, the safety, Ken Martin, that time had that thing absolutely sniffed out, and he's waiting. If that thing's underthrown just a little bit, that's an interception that's going back upside the near side numbers there, probably towards the end zone. And again, just 2 or 3 times tonight where ICC's had guys in position, but the quarterback's just outthrown everybody.
No doubt about it, Jordan. And give Benjamin some credit. He backed them all the way back to their 8-yard line. They've lost yardage. We should get excellent field position from this punt.
No pressure by the Indians as McGregor boots this one downfield. It's going to be Wren taking it at the 42-yard line. He's actually going to be hit and now breaks out the tackle, getting down to the sideline here to the 30-yard line, and it's going to be wrestled out of bounds and should be a flag as he was tackled well out of bounds that time. But, guys, a big-time return there. Thought he was actually going to be hit for a loss on the return. Was able to slip off some tackles and get a big return and give ICC great field position. But, Jim, let's give credit where credit's due. The defense getting it done there.
No doubt. We made them go 3 and out. Actually went backwards. It started with Benjamin's great punt. Good return here. Excellent field position, Jordan. We got the ball at their 27-yard line. We need to take advantage here.
Yeah, you've got an opportunity here with 11:40 to go in the third quarter to really put a stamp on this football game. That's the backup quarterback, Dylan Falk, in there on first down.
So Falk into the contest here for the first time this evening. He's going to just toss this one forward and makes one man miss in the backfield, but there's Delta to eat that one up. A gain of 1 on the play, so I don't know if we saw anything with Mills on the sideline, or maybe they're just trying to give Falk some snaps with this 21-point advantage.
I see Mills at the 31-yard line. I think he's fine. I think they're just giving Dylan some chance here. I look for Dylan to run a quarterback draw on one of these next few plays.
So we'll see what the ICC Indians do here, as it's going to be second down and 9.
See, this is a formation set that you don't see with Clark Mills in the game.
And this time, Falk does fake it, as Jim called that time, was able to go forward in a solid pickup. It'll bring up a third down and about 5 situation here for the Indians.
And now they bring Clark Mills back in now on 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5, Indians. The ball is at the 22-yard line of Delta. 10:40 left in the third period. ICC 28, Delta 7.
Probably looking at 4-down territory right here, guys, I would think.
So 3rd down and 5 is the situation. Mills goes with the hard snap count. Delta holds off on it there, so a good job being disciplined by Delta.
And look in the slot over here to the near side. That's a lot of green grass in front of Barry Flowers.
So back, Mills looking to throw. Now looks like he's going to let some run. He's got a lot of green grass in front of him. Gets down to the 15. Kind of hesitates for a second and froze the defense. And he was able to move the chains. And Mills, a nice carry, nice run, and move the chains again for the Indians.
Great job by Mills. He waited for Quay Davis to give a great block there. Got an extra 5 yards. 1st and 10 Indians at the 11-yard line of Delta. Up 28-7, 10 minutes left in the third period.
Clark Mills has very quietly carried the football 6 times tonight for 47 yards. So getting production through the air and through the running game with the sophomore quarterbacks. We've got whistles and
a flag down.
Flag on the field.
And another flag coming in, a late flag coming in there. I didn't necessarily see what happened there, guys.
I didn't either, guys.
They're having a conversation with the defensive back and Collins Woods the third. And Hiram Wadlington. Hey, that's very wise of Wadlington right there. It's a sophomore who's arguably your best player on the offensive unit. He goes over there and he grabs Collins and he pulls him to the sideline. Look, we don't want to do this right now. A 3-possession lead. Let's not get tied up and get you kicked out of the football game.
Both of them got unsportsmanlike conduct, and both of them a little bit hot right now, so it's offsetting penalties.
And I was thinking that might be, since Woods is from out of that area, it was not, but it's actually a Clarksdale player, or a player from Clarksdale from Delta, so no penalty yardage tacked on there for either team, as Jim mentioned, they were offsetting. 9:55 to go here, 28-7, ICC with the lead in the third quarter. Give is going to be to Wallet. No, excuse me, it's going to be Mills again on the keeper, lowers his head. And a big-time run there for Clark Mills. Mills is feeling it
like
tonight.
He wants to run the football a little bit tonight. Long gone is the thought process that he's going to be a pocket passer. He's trying to get outside of the pocket and run the thing a little bit.
Yeah, honestly, so accustomed to him handing it off to Waddington, thought Waddington had the football, and then look up, and he's marching the ball down to about the 6, is where they have it on the scoreboard. That's not the 6-yard line. That's probably closer to the 8, so let's call it a gain of 4 on the plate, 2nd down and 6. The Indians can still pick up the first down without getting the touchdown. So Mills out of the shotgun. And this time he's going to pass it out to the tight end, and he's going to be hit in a nice open field tackle that time by Delta as he marches the ball down to about the 5, maybe the 6-yard line. So it'll be a 3rd down and long situation here for the Indians.
That's Augusta Cox, the sophomore, getting in there on the reception. That only picks up a couple yards on the play, but you can see kind of systematically, scheme-wise, what the quarterback being able to pull the football and run has done for this offense. Is it's opened up everything. It's opened up the run game. It's opened up the pass game. Pretty much anything you want to do here on 3rd and 5 is open for you.
Wilson comes in as a running back. Waddington in the backfield with him. The ICC is going to check the play now from the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 5. ICC can get the first down without the touchdown. Mills wanting to throw. Still dancing around looking for someone in the back of the end zone. Just going to throw it out of the back of the end zone, and are they going to say it's intercepted?
They are.
Wow, what a play there by Delta. Let's look at that on the instant replay, folks. The ball was tipped to stay in bounds, and the young man from Delta just came in and made the diving catch as Mills was trying to keep that, or excuse me, try to just throw it out of the back of the end zone, and an absolute beautiful play by Mississippi Delta.
You know, Adam, I'm not sure if he was trying to throw it out of the back of the end zone or if he was trying to lollipop one over the top back there to Barry Flowers, who had sat down in the back. Flowers came on a slant out of the slot. He was open initially. Mills didn't see him there. At kind of last minute, he tried to pop one in there over the heads of the defensive backs, and I couldn't tell who it was that batted it up in the air, but somebody batted it up, somebody dove in there and kept that thing from hitting the ground. So be careful right here because that could be a play that changes the course of the game.
That was George Jackson who came in and got that interception. Now it's going to be a handoff, and ICC's there in the backfield and makes a big-time hit and the stop.
There's nowhere for Jackson to go on the carry as about 5 red shirts met him right off the right tackle's right hip. That's going to lose a couple of yards on first down.
Yeah, Jaquan Williams and Corley Hooper made the play. Caused him to turn it in, got some help from his teammates. Good job by Hooper and the defense.
So a big stop there, loss of 2 on the play. ICC leading at 28-7 over Mississippi Delta, 7:45 in the 3rd quarter. Looking to go. The pass is reeled in by Jones. He's immediately hit and dropped, so it's going to bring up a 3rd down and manageable situation. Make it a 3rd down, roughly 1 to go here for the Trojans.
And guys, I'm just surprised that we have not seen Jones more involved in the offense. I mean, he's got 5 catches tonight, but really offensively, he has been the offense. He's been what they've been able to do, and they've just not targeted him that many times.
So it will be a 3rd down and 1, 7:18 and counting to go here in the 3rd quarter. ICC with a 28-7 lead here over Delta. Indians defense needs to find a way to get a big stop here. Handoff, going to try to get to the outside now, cuts up the field, has the first down and then some as he gets the ball out near the 40-yard line. Needed 1, got about 9 on the play, and actually give him a gain of 10 on the play as they mark the ball at the 40. So that will move the chains here for Delta.
You know, Adam, that's the first time tonight I've seen their offensive line make some good blocks downfield. They got our defense on our heels. Give them credit, they got a 10-yard gain.
Jones lipping off the field here for Delta as he heads to the sideline. 3 receivers on the far side of the field, 1 here at the bottom of your screen for those watching on Let'sGoICCTV.com, the red channel. And they're going to run the quick out. Gets a nice block upfield. And now he's at the first down and then some. Makes a man miss as he steps back and then gets hit and dropped. But that'll be a gain of about 15 on the play, guys. And now we're starting to see Delta march down the field a little bit here.
Give Delta some credit. Throwing those short passes now, Jordan. Getting 10 and 15 yards at a stop in here in the 3rd period. 6:20 left in the 3rd period. 28-7 ICC.
Yeah, that's an easy play call there as you just look out there and see that you've got numbers on that bubble screen pass. You got 1 block you need the other receiver to pick up. He does. And then you got a guy with plenty of speed. He'll pick up 15 yards in a hurry.
And then just quickly running that pass out that time and no flag. I'm with you guys. It's going to be a tackle for no gain on the play, and they're actually giving him a pretty favorable spot saying he got back to the original line of scrimmage. But, again, a clear block in the back, and there was a line judge not even 10 yards from the play, no flag thrown.
Well, DeMontre Bell was the linebacker there, and he's coming down from the linebacker spot. He slipped in behind the slot receiver who was supposed to make the block, and as he goes by, he got shoved in the back. So I don't know what we're looking at there.
Well, Delta going to try to run this one. ICC's on the backfield, but going to use some of their speed to get out and get back to the original line of scrimmage. Ball came free, but it goes out of bounds. What an impressive play by Delta just to get back to the original line of scrimmage, guys.
Yeah, that's about a 30-yard run that goes right, then reverses field and goes all the way back to the other side for a gain of a foot.
If they actually mark it up a gain of 1. They're going to mark the ball where it went out of bounds.
Yeah, fumbled it forward. That helped out.
So there you go. So now it's going to be a 3rd down and 9 situation. 5:11 to go here in the third quarter. ICC with a 28-7 lead over Mississippi Delta. Delta in a possession down here, man, getting set to come in motion. That's Jones, who is back in the contest. Jones never got set as he started running up the field before the ball was snapped. And that ball falls incomplete, and it'll be a 4th and long situation. Guys, they're sitting on the punting unit here, but you got to think, trailing 28-7, if you're wanting to kind of get back in this thing, you got to start rolling the dice here when you have the ball on the positive side of the 50. But maybe wanting to get some more stats for McGregor. I don't know. I mean
he lead. Let me get this official number right here, if I can find the right paper.
You're right. Go ahead, Jordan. I'm sorry.
He's 5th in the country with 39 punts, so, I mean, I guess he's going to add another one to that right here.
And a high fly ball to center field is going to be down at the 6-yard line.
And we did things right. We got out of the way of the football that time. We fumbled it a couple of times on that this year where the punt unit's not gotten out of the way of the football. They do it right there. And, again, guys, we lead this one 28-7 with 4:45 to go in the third quarter. It feels like we have lost the field position battle all night long, though. You cannot say enough about what the punting team from Delta has done with Lane McGregor.
Absolutely. Of course, Lane wants to have a good game tonight. He originally came to ICC, tried to walk on as a wide receiver. That didn't work out for him. Went out to Delta and has become a stellar punter here for the Trojans.
And he's got a chance to play some more football, I believe, in collegiate level.
Absolutely. 1st down and 10. This 1st down being brought to you by your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox. It's going to be a handoff here for the Indians, and he's going to be Waddington hit and wrapped up, and that's going to be a loss on the play, or maybe they're going to give him back to the original line of scrimmage. No, so a loss of 1. So now the ball will go back to the 6, where it'll be a 2nd down and 11.
1 yard on that play by the Indians. 2nd down and 11 upcoming. Ball spotted at the 6.
So 4:25 to go here. And let's take a look around the league and see if we can find some scores throughout MACJC. Of course, we're going to try to keep an eye on some of these North Division matchups because, guys, the Indians do still have a shot at making postseason play. And, wow, we'll get you a score update as this is going to be a ball down the field, jump ball, and it's going to be incomplete. So let's take a look at some scoreboard updates. These scoreboard updates being brought to you by First American National Bank. Hines leading Colin 21-14. That's in the third quarter. Also in the third quarter, Mississippi Gulf Coast leading 12-5. Interesting. 12-5 over East Central. And, guys, here's a very interesting score. 28-28 in the fourth quarter, East Mississippi and Holmes. And at halftime, Northwest leading Coahoma 28-0. Jones over Northeast 21-3.
Guys, I can't figure out that Holmes ball club. I mean, they beat Northwest 2 weeks ago, and they come here last week, and for lack of a better term, they look pretty terrible offensively. And now they go down to Scuba and are having success tonight down there.
And they're going to say that ball is incomplete as it was just a little underthrown that time as it was intended for Quay Davis. And so now it's going to bring up a 4th down and a 4th down and 11 situation. If he reels that one in, Mr. Jim, it's a 1st down, but unfortunately just couldn't quite get his hand underneath the football.
You're right, Adam, and give their punter credit. He pinned us. We go 3 and out. We got a punt from our own 6-yard line, and they should get excellent field position here with 4 minutes left in the third period.
So as Jim mentioned, the clock is stopped, 4:01 to go here. ICC with a 28-7 lead in the third quarter. Jones, a dangerous player, is back to return this one. No pressure from Delta. ICC plenty of time to kick this one away. A fair catch and called, and they'll have the ball at about the 44-43-yard line. So good field position, as you said, Jim, here from Delta. So a chance to get back in this contest, trailing 28-7 with 3:54 to go in the third.
That's what you want to see there, though, is you want to see a punt with a lot of hang time and not let LeBaron Jones have very much time to do anything as far as a punt return is concerned. But, hey, 3:54 to go in the third quarter, like you mentioned. It's a 3-possession game, but great field position here for Delta. You let them score quick here, and next thing you know, that momentum, they've still got plenty of time to shift back to their sideline.
So it is a 1st down and 10 situation here for the Trojans. They are going to hand it off in the backfield. And the Indians sniffed that one out quickly, but still another gain of a positive 2 yards that time, so to bring up a 2nd down and 8.
That's the story of the night for me so far, though. It's been that defensive line, which really has improved so much from week 1 to where they're at right now. They have not allowed the running backs or the quarterback, even when he's run it, to find very much running room. They've been all over it.
Guys, Holmes goes up 35-28, that game in the 4th quarter. Looking to throw Long's got a man down the field, jump ball, and they're going to say incidental contact that time. And
that's the right call, too. As he did not trip him or anything like that. That's 2 guys going up to make a play. I believe that was Ralph Dunn in coverage at that time for the Indians, and he played that thing perfect down inside the 10-yard line. He step for step with him, gets up there, and makes that one nearly impossible to catch, but kind of limping gingerly off the field after that one.
Yeah, he was shaken up on the play there, so see if they try to dial that back up now that Dunn, who has played well tonight. 2 receivers on both sides of the football. 3rd down and 8 to go here for Delta. They trail at 28-7, 3:22 to go in the 3rd quarter. Gets the snap back, plenty of time to throw. Now airs it out, and it's going to be hit as he catches it, but able to fight forward, stretches out, and gets the 1st down.
And that's a receiver that knows what he's doing over there. He knows where the 1st down marker's at, and he stretches that thing out, and he got it by stretching it out. He was about a foot short, but by extending those arms right there as it comes to the ground, he's able to pick up the 1st down. Nice job that time by Perez to pick up the 1st down.
Tell you what, Jordan, that's a special player. He knew he was going to get hit by 2 guys. He bounced out off of them, stretched to the chains, and got a 1st down for the Trojans.
So 1st down and 10 here for Delta. Handoff in the backfield, slips off a tackle, and thought he was able to pop that one up, but the referee said his knee went down to the ground. And so it'll be a minimum pickup of 1 on the play for Delta.
That's what you've seen from Delta in the run game tonight, though, is they take the handoff and they get right there between the guards, and there's just nowhere to go. The front 7, specifically just the middle of that defensive line, having a very nice night so far for ICC.
So it'll be a 2nd down and 9 situation here for Delta. Quick pass is off the face mask of the young man that time for Delta. One of those that he was thinking about running before he caught it. And a big-time break there for ICC.
Frustrating for a quarterback. I mean, he does the right thing. Notices pressure off his blind side, takes the snap, holds it as long as he can, and fires one in there that hit his man right in the teeth. Not able to hold on to it.
You're right, Jordan. The defensive back blitzed from that area. He threw it to that area. The receiver is open. He just dropped it.
So now to be a 3rd down and 9 situation here.
This has got to be 4-down territory at this point in the game.
Snap back. The Indians bringing a delayed blitz. It was picked up nicely, and the pass is complete, but there's ICC with a nice open field tackle. Minimum gain of 2. Let's give him 3 on the play. So to bring up a 4th down and roughly 5 situation here. Guys with 2 minutes to go in the 3rd. Looks like they are going to elect to keep the offense on the field.
Yeah, you don't have a choice right here. Big play right here for ICC to try to get off the field on 4th down, get the offense the football on what would be their best field position of the 2nd half.
Yeah, you got to think if ICC can make that stop here, it could be a very deflated Delta team after driving down the field but coming up empty. So 4th down and 5. 1:40 to go, shifting a guy around in the backfield. 8 seconds on the play clock. Now make it 5. Low snap. Ball's loose on the field. And the Indians make the play.
That's number 20, Kendrick Jones, the linebacker. Indians dial up pressure on 4th down. You know, it doesn't help when the snap gets bobbled all the way back to the quarterback, but a good job with the penetration from the linebackers, getting in there and bringing him down behind the line of scrimmage to force the turnover on downs.
So the turnover on downs will give the ball back to the Indians, and actually were able to move the ball out to the 40-yard line on the sonic sack that time. So now a double break there for the Indians. Not only do they get the stop, but they get some better field position. 1st down and 10. This 1st down being brought to you by your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox. So the Indians lead this thing 28-7, 1:26 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Mills is your quarterback. He play action fake, zips it out to the slant route, and it's going to be complete, and a nice pickup there by the Indians.
Nice job by Clark Mills that time. He does a good job pre-snap surveying the defense, noticing the cornerbacks giving plenty of cushion on Quay Tucker. Tucker goes 5 yards up, cuts back across the middle of the field on a slant pattern, and Mills delivers one right in there for him to pick up 15 yards.
So the ball now is moved to the 44-yard line, where it'll be another 1st down here for the Indians. Delta having a little bit of confusion on getting men in and off the field here defensively. And so now another play action. They're going to run a little bubble screen here to Flowers. Flowers gets up the field, makes a man miss, and tries to skip past another one, but couldn't do so. But, Jim, the Indians starting to pick it up in chunks now.
No doubt about it. Found Barry Flowers, and we've seen the speed that Barry Flowers had when he gets in open field, Jordan. Another good play, another positive yardage, about 15 yards, 35 seconds left in the third period. ICC up 28-7, driving the balls at the 33. Excuse me, yes, the 33-yard line of Delta.
So first down and 10 is the situation here. The Indians will have to snap the ball before they can get out of the third quarter here. 10 seconds on the play clock, 20 on the game clock. Mills awaiting the snap. Now we'll get it and we'll hand it off to Wallington. Wallington's going to be hitting the backfield and cannot spin out of the grasp of Delta, and a good job by Delta that time, a loss of 4, and that will be how we end the third quarter of play. 28-7, ICC with the lead. We head to the fourth quarter. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on Super Talk Mississippi and Let'sGoICCTV.com.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
You could say it's about the clubs. You could say it's about the ball. You could even say it's about the course or the weather. But what it really comes down to is consistency and hard work. Over and over and over again. At Renaissance, we understand consistency. We understand hard work. Most importantly, we understand you. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.
Celebrate outrageous amounts of toppings with Little Caesars Extra Most Bestest. With the most cheese and now with the most toppings at the nation's best price. Create your favorite pizza starting at $6. Pay, then express pickup at Little Caesars.
Pizza. Welcome back as we get set for the fourth quarter of play. ICC with a 28-7 lead here over Mississippi Delta. The Indians, though, marching down the field, knocking on the door. Jim, see if they can strike here early in the fourth quarter to maybe start to put this thing away.
You're right. I'm 2nd and 14. We got the ball at their 37-yard line. We're at 28-7, the fourth quarter starting.
Two running backs in the backfield. That's Quarles and Wallington. And they're going to run the bubble screen, and a perfect play call there by ICC as there's a convoy in front of Wallington. He's able to get down the field, and Delta sent the house that time. ICC, just the right play call at the right time, Mr. Jim.
Good blocking out front. We pulled some offensive linemen. Very positive game. Third down, 3rd and 1. Great pickup, great throw, good run.
Hey, you're spot on there, too. I mean, you can't have a better play call for a big blitz like that. If you notice blitz and you're able to get a screen pass off or a slant back in behind it in a hurry, I mean, that means you've read the defense and done the right thing. That's what ICC was able to do and bring up a 3rd and short.
And they're going to give it to Waddington, and Waddington gets the first down and then some as he's able to march that one forward. And it's needed 1, got 2, maybe 3 on the play, and a big-time pickup there to move the chains. So it'll be a first down here for the Indians. This first down being brought to you by your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox. For all your insurance needs, whether it be home, auto, or life, stop by and see Joey right there on South Adams Street, the former ICC All-American, a proud sponsor of tonight's contest here on Super Talk Mississippi 101.9 FM and Let'sGoICCTV.com. 1st and 10 now. Same set with 2 running backs in the backfield with Mills. This time they're going to hand off, and this is going to be Wilson right up the middle, and Wilson just bullying his way forward, and a solid pickup of about 4, maybe 5. Let's give him a gain of 5 on the play there on first down.
And looking forward to next year, you think about what you're going to have back offensively. You're going to have R.J. Wilson. You're going to have DeMarcus Quarles. That's 2 different kind of backs. That's a big power bully style back. And then with Wilson, you got that guy who's slippery off tackle. So you're going to be able to do some different things in the run game that should be encouraging for the ICC fans.
Absolutely. 2nd down and 5 is the situation. This time the give is going to be to Waddington. Waddington bounces it to the outside, gets across the 50 down to about the 14, and Hiram's upset. He knew that he was a step away from taking that one to the house.
He's got such good vision. I mean, you have to really be able to see a defense to take a run play that's designed to go off the left side and turn it and go right. Looks like y'all are getting ready for the tank package to come out onto the field on this 3rd and short.
So a 3rd down and 2 situation here for the Indians. They're going to bring out the big boy package. As we talked about, they do call it the tank package here. So Mills will go underneath center here. Delta sending in some substitutions of their own. That is Tyler Day in the backfield, and he's going to hand it to Day, and Day fights forward and gets the ball inside the 10-yard line. So that was just Tyler Day bullying his way forward and getting that moving the chains.
Good job by Day because he got hit in the backfield. There was a tackler that slipped through and got him by the ankle. He's able to kick out of it and pick up enough yardage down inside the 10 to move the 1st down chains.
You look at Tyler Day, he's probably yelling over the sideline, Coach, leave me back here. Let me run this thing. As he's going to check out the contest, ICC will go back to their normal formation here as Mills in the shotgun, Wallington in the backfield. Tight end coming in is going to be Augusta Cox, who will now shift to the left side. And looks like we're going to have a timeout. Timeout taken by Delta, as I don't think they got enough men on the field right now.
They had major personnel issues out there on the field on that snap.
Timeout on the field. Let's hear from First American National Bank. We'll be back with more. ICC leads at 28-7, 12:05 to go here in the 4th quarter.
First American National Bank is a local bank. Our 10 locations are right here in Northeast Mississippi. Banking decisions are made locally by people who live here. It's been that way for more than 50 years. Our involvement in the community is important to us. That's where our roots are. Technology, it changes daily, but our community is what keeps us together. If you like high-tech banking, we've got that too. Follow the flag to First American National Bank, from Iuka to Tupelo.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. ICC with a 28-7 advantage, 12:05 to go here in the 4th quarter. Still keeping an eye on that Holmes and East Mississippi game, and Holmes leading that one 35-28. There's 12:49 left in the 4th quarter there. If Holmes were to win that game, folks, then the North Division is going to be turned on its head.
It's going to be a mess. There's no other way to describe it than that.
Mills is going to drop back to pass. Sidearms goes forward. That's going to be to the tight end. He's going to get it down to about the 5-yard line where he's going to be tackled, as that was number 5, Augusta Cox. You know, we haven't called his name a lot this year, Mr. Jim, but he was the 2nd catch of the day for Cox.
No, we hadn't. You know, they list him as a wide receiver, but Jordan, we've seen him in these packages down at the goal line playing a tight end and slipping underneath for some passes.
Yeah, I like that play call there. Get Clark Mills out from in the pocket, roll him to his right, and he's able to play with the eyes of the defensive backs and be able to read them make a decision. He's kind of got an option on that play, whether to keep it or to give it up to the tight end.
This is going to be a give to Wallington. He slips off a tackle, now knife his way forward, trying to bully his way into the end zone. And this is just a old-school scrum at the line. The referee's letting him go.
My goodness, he's standing in the end zone.
And we say he was a yard deep before they finally called the touchdown.
Good job by Wallington as he just works himself right up there in the middle of the pile. He gets a big push from behind. I couldn't begin to tell you which one of those offensive linemen finally pushed him over the goal line, but he was 5 yards deep before he got the touchdown call, Jim.
You're right, Jordan. It looked like all 5 offensive lines started pushing. It was a mass of humanity there, about 15 guys at the goal line.
Sixth touchdown of the year for Wallington.
Cameron Orr and Jacob Cunningham were in on that play there. The Bush push, yeah, that's coming from a Notre Dame fan as the kick is up, and the kick is good. 34-7 is the score. 11:19 to go here in the 4th quarter. Guys, let's keep it here since we just came out of that. Came out of the break before that. Indians, very impressive drive to take this 35-7 advantage.
Yeah, 28 points in the first half, 390 yards, and you know, to be honest with you, the 3rd quarter, neither team looked very good offensively. Lots of punts, lots of field position being flipped back and forth, not much happening from an offensive standpoint. But there's a good drive to really solidify yourself, especially offensively, and feel good about where you're at here mid-4th quarter.
You're right, Jordan. 11-19 left in the ball game. We're up by 4 scores. You want to finish strong, but we're looking pretty good here, guys, in our last home game. Hopefully staying in the playoff race. I'm impressed by our determination, our focus tonight playing football.
So getting set for another First American National Bank kickoff here. Reminding you to follow the flag from ICC, from Iuka to Tupelo. That's First American National Bank. A little squib kick is going to be taken at about the 18-yard line. And it's going to be Jones down the sideline to the 50. He's going to be knocked out of bounds. And again, guys, you just got to kick it away from Jones in those situations.
I'm telling you, I don't know what LeBarian Jones' plans are when he gets done playing football this year at Mississippi Delta. But kind of like we said with Hiram Wallington earlier, this is not the end of the road for LeBarian Jones.
No.
He is a sophomore that can go get the football, and when it's in his hands, he can flat out run past you.
Let's take a look at some First American National Bank scoreboard updates throughout the league. Hines leading Colin 35-21, and is Gulf Coast leading East Central 18-5. That's a big spot in the south there between Gulf Coast and East Central. As we talked about, it's 42-35 now. Holmes over East Mississippi. That's in the fourth quarter. Then Northwest leading Coahoma 28-0. And Jones in non-division play leading Northeast 21-3. Looks like we have a little early movement there on the part of Delta.
We'll see which way it goes. There was definitely movement both ways, but it looked to me like the boundary receiver, the far side, got the head start. Tell you though, guys, you let East Mississippi get beat again tonight. The natives down there in Scuba suddenly are going to be starting to get restless.
Well, East Mississippi tied the game at 35, and then it was a 66-yard run by Holmes to retake the lead, 42-35. That's with 7:43 left to go in the game. So a lot of football left to be played there in Goodman.
You let Holmes get their hands back on the football, though, they're liable to run 7 minutes off the clock like it's nobody's business.
Tupelo now leading South Haven 28-20. That's with 9 minutes to go in the third quarter there. Of course, that's the reason why if you're listening on Super Talk 101.9 right now on a Friday night, that's why we're coming your way on a Friday night. We wanted to let Baldwin get their big division game against Biggersville on the radio, so we wanted to let our fans and friends over at Baldwin be able to listen to that if they couldn't make the trip to the football game. And, of course, we appreciate Super Talk Mississippi working with us on that. We were the ones that stepped up and said, hey, let Baldwin be on the radio tonight. So appreciate those that are tuning in here on a Friday night. Back to pass over the middle. The pass is going to be thrown low, incomplete, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 15 situation now here for the Bulldogs.
Good coverage deep by the secondary. Linebackers drop back there in a zone set on 2nd and long. They're just trying to keep everything they can in front of them. As it looks like we may have a quarterback change on the part of Mississippi Delta here. Jordan Gillian out of Tupelo, Mississippi, played high school ball at Shannon, though. He's in there in the shotgun set on this 3rd and long.
So Gillian will come in the situation. 3rd down and 15. Drops back to pass. The southpaw zips it out there, and it's caught. What a catch across the way as he just went up and caught the ball. I thought it was intercepted on the backside that time, but instead it was number 16, Washington, coming up and just snagging that one out of nowhere, guys.
Yeah, if you're Gillian, a guy coming in as the backup quarterback, started out the year as the team's quarterback, but now you've kind of been settled into that backup role. You got guys like Washington and Jones and Miles out there to throw it around to. Hey, you might as well drop back and sling that thing. That's what he did right there and allowed the receiver to go make a play.
So it'll be a 1st down and 10 now as Delta marching down the field. They trail at 35-7 with 9:50 to play here. 3 receivers on the bottom of your screen for those watching on Let's Go ICC TV. Now here comes pressure, and the Indians are there with the sonic sack.
And that's the thing there as a backup quarterback you don't want to see happen. There's all that pressure coming right there into your face. You got to get rid of that thing in a hurry. ICC comes on a blitz on 1st down, gets to the quarterback and brings up a 5-yard loss.
Good job by our linebackers. And Adam, I was talking to Jordan earlier today. Jordan Gillian's brother, I thought, played here a few years back. He had an older brother from Shannon that played for ICC.
I believe Devin was his name, so I believe you're right on that, Mr. Jim. Mr. Jim, the encyclopedia of ICC athletics with a good call there. 2nd down and 15. Pressure coming again from the Indians. This time steps up to avoid it. Trying to get to the outside, and ICC's there again.
He got popped right there at the 40-yard line. That's difficult as you haven't played really all night long. You hadn't taken a snap. Then you come in there 3 plays in a row. They blitz right in your face. They're getting after you. Your big offensive line's played a ton of snaps tonight. They're worn out, as you can tell, looking out there right now. Jordan Gillian getting introduced to the linebacking corps from ICC early and often.
You're right, Jordan. And we've got 6:42 left in the 4th period. Our defense is throwing a shutout here in the 2nd half. We hope we continue.
Back-to-back sonic sacks by that Indians defense makes it a 3rd down and let's call it 18 situation now here for Delta. 8.5 to play in the contest. ICC 35-7. Hit as he lets go. Deep ball down the field. Jones goes up, in and out of his hands. Good coverage that time on the part of number 17 for ICC. That's Ralph Dunn.
Yeah, Dunn times that one up again as he's playing again, as we mentioned earlier, kind of in a deeper shelled zone. He backpedals, watches the eyes of the quarterback, sees the football coming his way, times it up, and gets right there in time. Good play on the back end of the secondary by the corner, Ralph Dunn.
Why are they punting?
Well, I don't know if they are now. The punter's gone off the field.
Now they're going to switch them off.
Probably have
to burn a timeout here. I think ICC is going to take the timeout. Let's take it with them. 8:22 to go here in the fourth quarter. ICC leads it 35-7. Back with more right after this.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.
Welcome back to action. 35-7. ICC with the lead here on sophomore night over Mississippi Delta. The Indians trying to keep their playoff hopes alive with a win here. There's 8:22 to go in the fourth quarter. And Mr. Jim, we were talking about during the break, the Indians, maybe their best offensive performance we've seen all season.
No doubt about it. And give our defense credit.
Yes.
We've only given up 7 points tonight. That was early in the first period, and we played very well the last 2 or 3 quarters.
So it will be a 4th down and 18 situation as they run the offense back on the field here. They're going to put 2 receivers on both sides of the football. ICC bringing them minimal pressure. Throw over the middle is going to be incomplete, and the Indians, for the second time tonight, get a turnover on downs. And good job that time as the Indians drop some extra defensive backs back that time to take away the deep ball, force them to go short and throw it out of bounds.
That's very smart defensively. Understand they need 15 yards to move the chains, so definitely just try to keep everything in front of you. Even if he catches that football right there, he's 5 yards short of the sticks. That's a good look defensively for ICC, as it looks like a lot of those second-team guys going to get some snaps here late in this football game for the Indians.
Into the third quarter, New Albany leading North Pontotoc 19-0. And Holmes 49-35, 5:23 left in the ball game. It was a 50-yard run by Kelly. And this is going to be Falk on the keeper this time. He's going to go for it. A solid pickup of about 6, maybe 7 there on first down. So Falk getting some quality snaps here.
You know, I realized when we were down in Scuba a few weeks ago, just about everything that could go wrong went wrong early in that game. I did not anticipate anybody hanging 50 points on the board against that defense, though.
I didn't either, Jordan. And correct me if I'm wrong, Holmes has already beaten Northwest.
Yep.
Now, if they finish East Mississippi, they've only lost 1 game, and that's to us, correct?
That is correct. So Holmes will go into that number 1 spot if they can find a way to hang on, as there's a handoff gain of 1 on the play to bring up a 3rd down and 3 situation. And, guys, that's the MACJC for you. It's one of those where anything and everything can happen, and usually when it's something crazy, that's what's going to happen each time we head to the football field, or baseball, softball, basketball. It's just, that's what makes the MACJC so fun, Mr. Jim.
It is. It's exciting. You never know what's going to happen. You think East Mississippi is going to run the table.
Yeah.
And it looks like they're getting ready to lose. It's not over yet. Their second game, and Holmes will be in first place in the North.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here taking a look at these division standings, and I might as well wad this piece of paper up and throw it out the window, because I can't make heads or tails out of what it's going to look like. Everybody's going to be 3-2, basically, is the way it's looking like.
And good luck trying to figure out the tiebreaker in that situation. So it's going to be a 4th down and 3 after that pass was batted down. And ICC will send on the punting unit here for another Little Caesars punt. And you got the dangerous return man, Jones, back to return for Delta. 7:04 to play in the contest. ICC with a 35-7 lead here over Mississippi Delta. The Indians will be on the road to finish out the season at Southwest Mississippi next week, and then Northwest to finish out the season, and that's now becoming even bigger division matchup. This ball is popped up, and the wind's going to eat that one up, and it's going to hit at the 30, and the player from Delta catches it, and then everybody kind of stood there for a second, and he's like, oh, crap, I got to do something with the football, and ICC tackled him.
He did not have a clue what to do with the football when he picked it up. That was 34, Kentarius Owens, a freshman defensive lineman. Mr. Owens, when he stepped off the bus tonight, probably didn't think he would be credited with a punt return, but he will there. As you could tell, a little bit of stage fright when that ball landed up in his hands.
I don't think he meant to do that.
No.
Hey, he got in the record books, but I think he was downing the ball, and then he realized, I'm on offense.
I'm on return. I'm not on coverage.
28-28, South Haven and Tupelo. With 1:34 to go in the third quarter. For those that are watching here, of course, if you're listening on a Friday night here on Super Talk Mississippi, you already know the outcome of that game.
Suddenly that becomes the scoreboard show update.
Yes, it does.
There you go.
So it's now going to be 1st and 10. As the pass out to the flat is going to be complete and immediately ate up that time. A nice open field tackle after a gain of about 5, maybe 6. Let's give him a gain of 6 on the play.
Nice open field tackle, as you mentioned, by Alex Seaton, freshman defensive back out of Grenada. Not got to see a ton of playing time so far this year, but here late in the game, 4-possession lead for the Indians with 6 minutes and 30 seconds to play. He steps up and makes the most out of his opportunity.
Guys, we do want to say a special hello to those that are watching in support of Mississippi Delta tonight. I meant to do that earlier in the contest, so we do appreciate those. And but good buddy Coach Dan out there taking over the SID duties, as this is going to be a deep pass down the sideline, jump ball, and it's going to be overthrown. But Dan Reeves, a good buddy of ours, taking on double duties. So, Coach, I salute you over there, and I look forward to seeing you this baseball season as well, as it's going to be a 3rd down and 4 situation.
Jim, Jordan Gillian, who's come on in relief of the quarterback here in the fourth quarter, is listed at 6', 185. I'm not sure I quite believe either one of those numbers with the freshman quarterback.
Well, if he's 6', 185, then I'm about 6', 185 as well. Or no, I should say 6', 285.
He can throw the ball around, though, the lefty.
High snap, he goes up and grabs it. The southpaw slings it out, and it's going to be hit and dropped, and it's going to be good for a 1st down as the ball gets out to the 45-yard lines and to move the chains for the Trojans. Well, if you're watching, hit us up on Twitter at Let's Go ICC. Let us know you're watching. As we're in the final 5 minutes of this, we do invite you to stay tuned for the the Renaissance Bank postgame report. We'll try to get Jordan to head down and talk to Coach Cannon, as there's going to be a sack in the backfield, a sonic sack yet again for the Indians.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in seeing what Coach Cannon has to say after this one tonight, as, you know, lots of coaches around the area, around the game, cannot stand having to try to get a team prepared for homecoming matchups and senior day or sophomore day matchups. Coach Cannon has done it 2 weeks in a row and has had his guys come out very determined, very motivated back-to-back weeks. I definitely would like to see what he has to say about that.
Jordan, I think that we have looked offensively, defensively, and special teams as sharp as we've looked all year tonight.
2nd down and 16. Pressure coming off the corners, picked up nicely that time by Delta. Slings it out and wide open as ICC gave a big-time cushion, and they needed 16 to get the 1st down, got 18 to move the chains.
Nice route run up top by Tommy Washington, a sophomore wide receiver, and an even better throw by the quarterback Jordan Gillian, that is. He steps up into that throw and really turns that one loose. He might not be the biggest guy out there on the field, but he has no problem turning one loose. A little bit of a low arm angle, low arm slide as he lets go of the football, but he's been effective since he came into the football game.
Another high snap. Now he's going to step up to try to avoid the pressure. Zips this one downfield. He's got a man. Oh, just overthrew him. Again, a good job stepping up in the pocket. Zipped it downfield, intended for number 16. That's Washington. But been impressed with his play here, as he's been under a lot of duress as soon as he's come into the contest.
Yeah, the Indians haven't cut him any slack. They've pinned those ears back, especially at the linebacker spots, and come after the young quarterback. He had a man open that time. Tommy Washington had got in behind the safety, but just barely throws it out side of his outstretched arms.
2nd down and 10 is business picking up in Goodman. East Mississippi scores. Holmes leads at 49-42 as there's a short pass, and the running back slips but is able to keep his balance and get it out for a gain of about 9 on the play. So yes, Holmes trying to hang on for the upset here. They lead at 49-42, 3:03 left there in the fourth quarter in Goodman.
Gain of 9 on the play.
4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Indians 35, Trojans 7.
So it'll be a 3rd down and a long one now here for Delta. Low, bad snap's going to get away from the quarterback, and he wisely just falls on that one there. As the Indians looked like they were bringing pressure off the corner as well. Smart play by Gillian to go up and just fall on the football and keep possession with the good guy, or excuse me, with not the good guys. So I mean, we're the good guys, but Delta.
Yeah.
They were definitely bringing pressure there. That's been the common theme, really, pretty much all night long. Is I think we've probably dialed up more pressure defensively than I've seen ICC do all year long. So has not been easy pickings for the quarterbacks out there for Delta. As on 4th and 14, Gillian.
He's
Keep
got
his offense out there.
A lot of pressure coming. Now throws over the middle. Oh, nearly intercepted that time. In and out of the hands of Williams.
And we talked about Jaquan Williams, how he's played a good game tonight and how he's really improved over the course of the year. There's a flag back at the 50-yard line, though.
And a roughing the passer call on the Indians. And that'll be an automatic first down to keep the drive alive here for Delta. And just an untimely mistake there.
I missed it too. As I thought the linebacker over the middle of the field had a chance to intercept it, and then when it got to Jaquan Williams, I mean, it hit him absolutely right in the hands. But looked like Shaquille Brown, the defensive lineman, came through there and hit the quarterback late.
So a tough break there for the Indians. A good break for those Delta fans watching here on Let's Go ICC TV as they get a fresh set of downs with 3:09 to play here, 35-7. ICC with the lead in the fourth quarter. Pass over the middle, or excuse me, out to the right side. The reason why I said over the middle, there was a guy from ICC that jumped over one of the linemen for Delta and hit the quarterback, and somehow like he paused in the air because he was on the back of the defensive or offensive lineman and just had to let him go and fell on his face. So a gain of 6 on the play brings us a 2nd down and 4 situation. 2:45 to go in this one, and guys are starting to breathe a little bit easier here as ICC fans. It's not been in doubt throughout the evening, but as I said, in the MACJC, crazy things happen. Another quick pass, and it's going to be good for a first down. And another late hit here on the Indians. And
that one was late.
Yeah.
That one was late. Keyshawn Parker, I don't think he's been registered with a sack tonight. He leads the state in sacks. He's trying to pick one up, and he comes in there. No doubt that one was a little bit late for the sophomore out of Calhoun City.
Personal foul against the Indians on defense, 15 yards.
So tack on another 15 yards. And let's give credit to Gillian. He knows that pressure's coming, and he's not wasting any time. He's getting the football out of there, and ICC just can't find the brakes to hit him. And so Gillian doing a good job as he's marching the Trojans down the field and trying to find a way to put points on the board.
Who called timeout? Did we call timeout?
And I think that,
Yeah, Coach
well, he
Cannon.
said ICC pointed towards Delta, but I think that Coach Cannon's using this as a coaching opportunity.
Yeah, let's quit hitting the quarterback late. That's probably going to be what the message is right here.
2:31 to go here in the fourth quarter. We're going to keep it here, guys. ICC leads at 35-7. Jim, you had a chance to go down and look at the community tailgate before the game today?
Had a good time today. Excellent job tonight by Community Relations. Had a great community tailgate. Had a lot of people there, a lot of excellent food. Got to visit with some people. I saw Jordan down there also. I know you're up here working hard while Jordan and I were goofing off.
Yeah.
But it was a good time.
I never get a chance to do stuff. Everybody's like, oh, you should have been. I'm like, in my 9 years here at ICC, I have never participated in a pregame, postgame, anything here.
You're too valuable. You got to be on the radio. You got to run all this program here.
Mr. Jim, your eyes turn brown all of a sudden.
Well, and look, let's take this opportunity to mention that Adam Gore mentioned as one of the top 40 under the age of 40
That's
by the
right.
Daily Journal. It's because he puts that kind of effort in and does that kind of work for us.
He does
here,
a great job. He works tirelessly and does an outstanding job and helps put ICC on the map.
Well, guys, I appreciate that. It's going to be a 1st and goal. I'm going to lob it up to the corner of the end zone. The ball's going to be batted around and falls incomplete. And to go back on that thought, I'm just happy that the people at the Journal still think I'm under 40.
Well, you got somebody fooled, huh?
Yes, it is. It is. And Dana Nail will also be a part of that, an instructor here at ICC, and we had a chance to talk with her. You can hear that on the ICC Hour next Tuesday at 9:06 right here on Super Talk Mississippi. And was there another flag thrown? No.
No, it's the ball. I thought it was a flag, too.
I did,
it's
too.
The ball thrown on the sideline.
So it's going to be a 2nd down and 10 situation here. Clock is stopped with 2:26 to play in the contest. Gillian back to pass. He's hit as he throws over the middle and tipped away, and another chance to intercept the ball there. And Gillian paid for that one.
You know, Jordan, there's 2:21 left in this ball game, and we've won the game. It's 35-7, but Sean Cannon does not want them to score here in the fourth quarter. He really wants the defense to make a stop here and get a shutout for the second half.
You know, the defense really had an opportunity to intercept the pass right there, too. There's been 2 or 3 on this possession alone. It looked like the secondary was going to step in there and pick one off. It's hit their hands 3 or 4 times, not been able to come down with it yet. As 3rd and goal now for Delta from their own 9-yard line.
Snap back's a good one. Pass over the middle is right there, but there's a big-time hit by the Indians. And so it's now going to be a 4th down and goal to go from about the 2, maybe 3-yard line. So now here's a gut check time for this Indians defense to see if they can keep them out of the end zone.
You have great opportunity for your defense right here. 4th and 4, 4th and goal, that is, from the 4. ICC is going to call a timeout, and as you mentioned, I mean, Sean Cannon wants to pitch the shutout here in the second half.
You know, look, they scored 7 points early in the first period, and throughout the night, our defense has played very, very well. Just like our offense, we think maybe this is one of our best games of the year. Sean Cannon wants to end on a positive note. He wants the score to be 35-7 when all the zeros show up on the board.
Well, I think one big positive we can take away is we're going to keep it here with 1:57 to go, ICC leading 35-7. We've seen a different fight out of the Indians tonight that we haven't seen all season, Jordan.
I think you're exactly right. It's a group that I think when you look back over the course of the year, we could all agree that it's progressed, has got better down the stretch. I thought last week was the best game they played so far. I think tonight tops that one. I think they're getting better as we go. And as we talk about with kind of disarray taking place inside the division tonight as you look across the landscape, I mean, you want to be playing your best football at the end of the year, and it looks like that's what this team's doing.
So it's going to be a 4th and goal. The ball is going to be at the 3-yard line here for Delta as they break the huddle. Here, the ICC All-American Band, they've been fired up all night long tonight. And can the Indians find a way to get the stop here? 1:57 to go in the 4th quarter, leading at 35-7. This is just going to be a pride check here for the Indians. Gillian back to pass, pressure coming. He's hit as he throws, and the ball's going to fall incomplete. And ICC comes away with the stop. Big time play there by Sean Cannon's defense.
Yeah, they got that pressure off the edge. Nick Smith, Keyshawn Parker, Shaquille Brown come through there. They make the left-handed quarterback roll to his left, and as he looked for somewhere to go to throw the football, there just was nothing there. I know Coach Cannon is going to be proud of that, as it looks like they may throw the shutout here in the second half.
Jordan, you're right. And let's put it this way. We're up 35-7. Sean Cannon uses 2 timeouts in the last 2 minutes of this ball game, tossed his defense, and we made a big-time stop.
So the Indians will come off the sideline with a 1st down and 10. The ball is going to be at the 3-yard line. 1:52 to go in the contest before ICC can wrap this one up in red and blue. Handoff in the backfield, and, oh, did he get out of there? Yes, he did, as Delta sending everyone in a hurry there, and looks like there is a flag down maybe. Maybe got an early start.
There we go.
And that's how he got in the backfield so quick. So offside is going to be the call there, so that'll give the Indians a free 5 yards.
So take a good look if you're still watching with us out there what the offense looks like right now. That's Dylan Falk, the freshman up out of DeSoto County. R.J. Wilson in there with him. Jamarcus Quarles is taking a good many snaps at the running back spot, but this is probably a lot of what your offense is going to look like next year.
Quarles gets the handoff, now slips the seam. Going to try to get up the middle of the field, and this is going to be a foot race here for Quarles. He's to the 50, 45, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown Indians.
It's Wilson.
That's R.J. Wilson, and mark that one down for a 92-yard touchdown rush for the freshman running back. And, I mean, we just talked about that's what you're going to be looking for next year. Heck, we may be looking for it by the time this year's over, is that young man hit the seam, turned on the jets, and ran away from everybody.
Well, one thing I'm going to ask Wilson to do next year is find another number other than 21. It looks
we
like a 7.
can't have 21 and 27 out there.
Yeah. I'm looking at the sleeve because that's the only number I can see there. And an unsportsmanlike.
Unlike at Northeast the other night, though, we're going to mark this one off on the kickoff.
Yeah, after the kickoff, so could have used that call a couple of weeks ago.
Guys, man, would that not change the way the division standings look
big time.
now?
Wadlington is a great back, but let me say this. Wilson has true speed when he breaks the line of scrimmage.
And a bad snap as ICC is going to yell fire and see if they can find a way to get the 2-point conversion. Instead, they're just going to hold on to the football, and the 2-point conversion, the bad snap will cause the PAT to fail. 1:26 to go here. Let's take a quick timeout. ICC leads at 41-7. We'll be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
The Car Hop Classic for just $2.99 is the perfect 1-2 punch of flavor and value. Time that! You need a trainer to help you eat the burger?
Hey, stay out of this. Don't get in my head, man. There's barely room for me in there.
Hurry in and try quarter-pound double cheeseburger or 6-inch Philly plus tots for $2.99.
My mom never let me eat this much cookie dough.
What would she say if she saw you eating this big scoop cookie dough blast?
I don't know. Why ask her?
Don't tell your father.
Oh, naughty, naughty.
Hurry in and scoop up our new cookie dough treats. Try order ahead to get happy hour anytime.
And welcome back as we get set for another First American National Bank kickoff here. The Indians are going to have to kick this one off from the 20 after the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty was stepped off there. And 41-7, 126 to play here. And the Indians looking sharp tonight on sophomore night, sending the sophomores out. Mr. Jim, on a good note.
No doubt about it. And we were just running the football then, guys. We're just running the football, had our backups in, trying to run the clock out, but he breaks the line of scrimmage. You don't tell him to fall down. He took off, as you mentioned, Jordan, 92 yards, a lot of speed.
I think
that's exactly right. I mean, he ran away from the secondary. I mean, he busted into the second level, into the third level, and when he got up there with those safeties, he turned on the afterburners and ran away from everybody.
And near miss on that kick. And the ball's loose on the turf, and I think ICC will get the ball on a unintentional onside kick.
Oh. Paris Adams comes off the bottom of the pile with the football, so ICC unintentionally, I think, is going to get it back on, I guess, what you would call a little pooch kick.
Yeah, he topped the ball. Or actually, he kind of just booted that one forward. It did go the allotted yardage needed, and ICC recovers it. I don't know that was originally planned that way, guys, but when it rains, it pours, and it's pouring on Delta. Here's this game closes out as ICC recovers the, again, unintentional onside kick. I've never seen that before. Remind you to stay tuned for the Renaissance Bank postgame report coming your way at the conclusion of today's game. Jordan will head down and catch up with Coach Sean Kennan to talk about tonight's game, and he's going to have a lot of positive talks about tonight on both sides, all three phases of the game, I guess you can say, as now Falk will come out and lead the troops back to the line of scrimmage. 1:23 to play here. ICC 41-7 lead over Delta. And this time it's going to be a give to a new running back in the game here for ICC, as this is going to be, Tylen Whitfield. So the first time we've called his name this season in the backfield, getting the carry and a gain of about 7 on the play.
Guys, I'm trying to total up some numbers before I make my way down to the field, but by my count, and again, by my very rough count, as I've tried to do this over the course of the night, I've got ICC with over 550 yards of offense.
I'm going to say it's true because ICC has been pinned back deep on every possession they've had tonight. Whitfield gets the carry again. He busts up the middle, spins and gets across the 40, breaks a tackle down to the 35, to the 30. Whitfield saying, "Put me in, coach. I can make this happen."
I'm agreeing with Mr. Whitfield there. He just rumbles and bounces off guys for about a 25-yard pickup.
We're trying to look at the Little Caesars instant replay here. I thought the Indians, but yeah, Whitfield with an impressive run there. And they're going to back the ball up here. And ICC will be able to run this one more time, and Whitfield will get the carry out to about the 25-yard line, and that should do it, guys. ICC is going to pick up the 41-7 win. There's 10 seconds left on the clock. Don't have to snap it one more time. And, guys, a big win here tonight. And Jordan, before you head down, your thoughts before we head into the Renaissance Bank postgame report.
I felt like from kickoff until the final buzzer that goes off right now back to our left, that was the most complete football game we've seen ICC put together. I thought special teams-wise, it looks like things have rounded up. I feel like offensively, when you look down and you have 575 yards of offense, I think that speaks for itself. And I think defensively, 2 weeks in a row, you've seen a game plan implemented by Coach Sean Kennan that really has got the job done. I mean, you throw a shutout here in the second half. You saw the urgency and how important it was to hold stiff there inside the 10 late in the game. I think altogether that was just a good game plan, well executed by the Indians, who still have a lot to play for moving on.
Well, Keyshawn Parker, who's playing on his final football game here at Eaton Field, celebrating, running around with the ICC flag after ICC picks up the 41-7 victory here over Delta on sophomore night. We're going to take a break and come back with more of the Renaissance Bank postgame report. ICC wins it by the final score of 41-7 over Mississippi Delta. At Itawamba Community College, your education is our top priority. With a 20-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio, you will get the help that you need from your instructors. With 3 locations in Fulton, Tupelo, and Belden, ICC offers classes that will prepare you to enter almost any job field of your choice. Learn more about Wallet Hub's #1 community college in Mississippi and the 25th best in the country by visiting iccms.edu or apply online at apply.iccms.edu. Itawamba Community College. The best start here.
The longer a person has diabetes, the more likely they are to develop diabetic retinopathy. If left untreated, diabetic retinopathy can lead to blindness. That's why it's important for diabetics to have a comprehensive eye examination with dilation once a year. I'm Dr. Laurie Cagle of Cagle Eye Center in Fulton. We offer comprehensive eye exams to provide diagnosis and treatment of various eye diseases. Browse our large selection of frames available in prescription and non-prescription. Call to schedule your appointment today at Cagle Eye Center in Fulton.
Car Hop Classic for just $2.99 is the perfect 1-2 punch of flavor and value. Time that! You need a trainer to help you eat the burger?
Hey, stay out of this. Don't get in my head, man. There's barely room for me in there.
Hurry in and try quarter-pound double cheeseburger or 6-inch Philly plus tots for $2.99.
My mom never let me eat this much cookie dough.
What would she say if she saw you eating this big scoop cookie dough blast?
I don't know. Why ask her?
Don't tell your father.
Oh, naughty, naughty.
Hurry in and scoop up our new cookie dough treats. Try order ahead to get happy hour anytime.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you, wherever you go. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You see some of the sophomores heading to the ICC All-American Band to celebrate their final victory here on Eaton Field tonight. As we move into the Renaissance Bank postgame report here as the ICC football team celebrating there on the sideline. Jim, let's get your final thoughts on tonight's contest.
You know, Adam, what a great performance tonight. You know, Jordan made some major points. Offensively, defensively, special teams, we are improving. We took care of business tonight. We won 41-7. The intensity of our team, the coaching staff did a great job. We played well all across the board. We're improving as the year goes on. Looks good. We got a chance now to make some more movement. We go on the road for 2 games. Need to take care of business.
Well, the upset has gone final. Holmes does defeat East Mississippi by the final score of 49-42. So this division is upside down right now. Holmes has beat Northwest, now East Mississippi. ICC defeated Holmes. So once the dust settles on the night, we'll have to figure out how all that standings will go and then even start to look at possible tiebreakers throughout the end of the year. Of course, ICC will hit the road next week against Southwest as we're waiting for Jordan Smith to catch up with Coach Sean Cannon. And let me communicate. Hey, Jordan, if you're down there, could you go ahead and turn on your microphone and we can talk to you here while you're waiting for Coach Cannon to come over?
Adam, I've got you down here on the field. You have me upstairs.
We've got you, man. So you may have just heard me talking about it as Holmes went final by the final score of 49-42 win over East Mississippi, and a big win there for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, absolutely. We knew that one was going to be close down the stretch as we're joined here with Coach Sean Cannon as we've just got word from Holmes. They have knocked off East Mississippi tonight, Coach. As altogether 41-7 victory for your guys tonight. You know, a lot of coaches talk about it's difficult to get a team prepared for homecoming. It's difficult to get a team prepared for sophomore night. Coach, you've done it 2 weeks in a row.
Yep. The kids did a good job tonight, and I thought we come out and big played them early, and then we give up the one play there that we had, but I thought our kids, you know, found a way to battle back there and come out with a good one. You know, it is a good win, you know, especially getting a little redemption that we had from last year against these guys.
I think you're spot on what you said there specifically offensively. As it looked like early on, Coach Cook were really able to do pretty much whatever you wanted to do from an offensive side of football.
Yeah, I kind of questioned there. I was like, are they even playing with a free safety? You know, we threw it down the middle on them all night long, you know, and you know, they were, you know, real solid in the kicking game. And Ait's a good player. I tried to tell him that all week. He made some plays against us, but we stood up when we needed to. We got some good stops, and but I'm proud of getting the W for sure.
Absolutely. It looked like you played very well in the secondary on the back end, but it looked like the key really was to get pressure up front defensively as y'all pinned those ears back and came after them all night long?
Yeah, you know, going in, we knew if the score was close that we had to stop the running game because that was kind of what they hung their hat on. And eventually we got up a little bit with points and kind of got them into having to, you know, go to 4 receiver sets. So then we could pin our ears back and go get the quarterback. And, you know, and they made some plays still, but I thought our guys affected the quarterback, you know, pretty much that whole second half.
A very rough count upstairs. We had you with about 575 yards of offense, but the play by your young guys down the stretch, that's got to be something that makes you smile thinking about next year a little bit.
Yeah, you know, it just proves if you work hard in practice and you do the right things, good things are going to happen to you. You know, with RJ there, and you saw we got the, you know, celebration penalty, but that's how well liked that kid is. Just about the whole half of the team run down there to congratulate him, and so when those kids, when you see them having fruits of their labor, when they're able to get paid off with plays like that, it's always good to see as a coach for sure.
Everybody wants their team to play the best second half, down late in the season, really. To improve from week to week. It looks like your club is definitely doing that.
Yeah, you know, I think we have. Maybe we figured out how to have fun. I don't know, you know. But, you know, I think the kids have figured out that these are hard games. You know, I think early in the year we just really didn't understand how hard these were going to be week in and week out. And I think now they've kind of figured out this is hard. You know, these are hard to come by. And when you get one, you definitely get to savor it.
Congrats on the win tonight, Coach. We'll see you next Thursday night on the road at Southwest.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, guys, that's Coach Sean Cannon as the ICC Indians knock off Mississippi Delta by a score of 41-7 on sophomore night from Fulton.
Well, Jordan, I know you're still down there on the field right now. There's a great buzz around there. I'm trying to see if Keyshawn Parker is nearby to see if we can grab an interview with him. I see Clark Mills over near the 20-yard line. If you want to see if we can try to grab a couple of these sophomores to kind of talk about and get that feeling of their vibe. I see Keyshawn's out there directly behind you near the 30. So if you want to see if you can go round up one of those guys, Jim, we'll keep it here. But real quick, Jim, just sophomore night, these sophomores going out on a big note.
Did a good job. You know, they were focused tonight. And sophomore night, sometimes you're not as focused, but offensively, defensively, special teams, we played extremely well tonight. All of us set up here, maybe it's our best game of the year.
Yeah.
Mississippi Delta came in here off a big win, beat Northeast at their homecoming last Saturday. We beat them tonight 41-7, and we saw how Sean Cannon wanted to have that shutout in the second half, calling 2 timeouts with 2 minutes left in the ball game. They scored early in the first period. That's all they got was 7 points all night. Great win, 41-7 for the Indians.
Well, looks like Jordan was able to chase down Keyshawn Parker there on the sideline as he was conversating with some of his family down there. So, Jordan, whenever Keyshawn's ready, you guys take over the postgame report.
Yeah, I got Keyshawn right here. Everybody's excited down here on the field after the 41-7 victory tonight. Keyshawn, tell us what it was like to be out there tonight as a sophomore, knowing this is a good chance of being your last football game here on Eaton Field to come out play the way y'all did.
It being like we got to come out here and please the fan like always. I know we started out real bumpy, but for us to come out here, get a 4-7 win on sophomore night, feel good. Everybody out here excited. Just time to turn up now, ain't it? Keep going.
You know, we talked to Coach Cannon a few minutes ago and talked about how you guys are playing your best football at the right time of the year. Is that something you'd agree with?
Yes, sir. We put our foot down, had to realize win or lose. And we came out here and won, so just keep going from here.
All right, so what do you think you need to do down the course of the next couple of weeks to, hey, you win next week at Southwest, you beat Northwest in a couple of weeks, you'll be looking at being in the playoffs.
It's something we got to go to practice, focus on it. It's hard. We can do it. We just got to work for it and go get it done.
How do you embrace being kind of the leader of the defense?
Coach Kenny giving me the lead. It feels good, baby, to lead guys behind me. For them to follow me, I'm doing something right, and I want to keep doing it, but it feels great to be in this position as a leader.
Enjoy this one tonight. Get ready. Let's go get another one next week.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys. That is Keyshawn Parker, one of the linebackers. We're going to see if we can track down maybe Clark Mills here and get him over here as well.
He's near the 15-yard line. If you want to walk over and catch him, we'll continue our conversation up here between Jim and myself. And, Jim, you see a guy like Keyshawn Parker. He's been a staple for this football team as a freshman. Now as a sophomore, he's able to get to leave this field with a big-time victory in his final game here at Eaton Field.
There's no doubt about it. Keyshawn Parker's the leader of the defense. We got some great linebackers on the team, but he is absolutely the leader. He's leading our team in tackles. He plays outstanding defense. He leads the guys where they need to be during the play. He is a winner, and we're glad he's a leader, and he gets our defense in the right position. He makes plays for our team.
Absolutely. Still waiting for Clark Mills to come join us on the sideline to do a quick interview. He's taking some photos with some of his family here on sophomore nights, and of course we want to let him do that as well, but we are wanting to talk to some of these sophomores. And of course, you look at Clark last year, was that third-string quarterback, got inserted into that starting role, was able to come in and play well, and probably play one of his better games tonight.
He was very steady tonight, no mistakes, played very well. As we mentioned, a lot of our players playing better as the year goes on.
Let's take you back down to the sideline now as Jordan Smith has a word with Clark Mills.
Clark, we got you here sophomore night, big 41-7 win over Delta to kind of keep the playoff hopes alive. What's it feel like to go out on top on sophomore night here at home?
You know, it feels good. It's our last home game as sophomores. It always feels good to come out with a win, especially in the North that we really need. And so we came out hot, we played good, and we were able to get a big W tonight.
Y'all came out very determined offensively. I mean, there was no doubt about that. Pretty much whatever you want to do from an offensive side of things, you were able to do. What all went into that?
We had a really good week of preparing. We watched a lot of film. We knew what they were going to do when they gave us certain looks, and we knew what plays could take advantage of what. And so the O-line blocked great. We ran the ball. We threw the ball. Everything just came together as offense that first half.
We saw you let loose with your legs a little bit out there tonight. That was something we kind of made fun of up there. We didn't make fun of you, but we had fun with talking about how you waited till nearly the season was over to show us that you could have a little offensive success with those legs.
Oh, yeah, I've been trying to get Coach Cook to let me run it a little bit more. So he gets kind of upset I don't slide sometimes. But, you know, I told him if I need to run anytime I need to make them, you know, respect that part of the offense, I can do it and hurt them that way. So that helps. That helps just the whole offensive scheme.
Congrats on the win tonight. We'll see you next Thursday night at Southwest.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely, guys. You heard it there first. Is Clark Mills. Coach Cook, when you watch this back, he wants the football more. He wants to run the thing a little bit, guys.
And appreciate Jordan going down there and talking to those players. Jordan, before we cut you loose down there, your final thoughts on tonight's contest?
Well, I just thought it was the most complete contest from the beginning to the end tonight for ICC. All three phases. You saw the offense. I mean, guys, they put 575 yards up tonight. That's an offense that is going to win most of the football games they play. Special teams, it looks like some of the kinks we saw early on in the year have been worked out. And defensively, now that's 2 weeks in a row where Sean Cannon's game plan has definitely come through, has definitely played well. And here later in the year, as you heard him say it, that's when you want to be playing your best football. And that looks like that's what the Indians are doing.
Well, Jordan, appreciate your report there from the sidelines as Jim and I will wrap up the Renaissance Bank postgame report up here. Jim, the Indians, long road trip next week. They step out of division play, travel to Southwest Mississippi for that game. So you want to enjoy this one here, but they do have fall break. So be able to maybe get some bumps and bruises and get a little bit more focus with no class going on Monday and Tuesday of next week. But yeah, a chance for the Indians to kind of get back on the good things. And now they set it up where they control their own destiny now down the stretch.
You're right, and we want to keep the momentum going positive. We need to play well again against Southwest, and I think we will. And then a key game, of course, going on the road, last regular schedule, last game of the year at Northwest, could be big and playoff implications. We need to get ready for that, and I think we will.
You can join us for the Davis Ford pregame show at 6:30 right here on Super Talk Mississippi, and we'll have that First American National Bank opening kick coming your way at 7 down in Summit. So if you can't make that 4.5 hour trip down to Summit, you want to be sure and listen and watch here on Let's Go ICC TV. Well, that's going to do it for tonight's broadcast. We appreciate everyone tuning in and also listening to the tape delay here tonight on Super Talk Mississippi 101.9 FM. So for Jordan Smith, Jim Ingram, JB, and you got Lee Adams and Raphael Henry. I don't know if Bronson ever came back tonight. He did not, so we will not give his last name since he did not work tonight. And then Michael Upton's been up here tonight eating all of our food, as that's going to do it
and
for
his
tonight.
son, Gage.
Yes.
His son, Gage, is here.
Final score, ICC wins it 41-7 over Mississippi Delta on sophomore night. We'll see you next week right back here on Super Talk Mississippi and Let's Go ICCTV.com.
Ever since you got that license, you haven't stopped moving forward. Now that you're older and on the move, you need a safer place to keep your money. We get it. A student checking account frees you up with things like mobile check deposit to take care of that check from grandma without having to stop at a bank. Pay with your phone when you're out with friends. And stop worrying about ATM fees. We'll pay you back for those. Worry about your future, not your money. And know that we'll stick with you, wherever you go. Renaissance Bank, understanding you. Member FDIC.
This broadcast of ICC Athletics is being brought to you by Renaissance Bank, Little Caesars, Davis Ford, the Sonic of Fulton, Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works, the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, First American National Bank, the ICC BSU, your Itawamba County Farm Bureau agent, Joey Cox, Cagle Eye Center, the ICC Foundation, the Bank of Okolona, and the ICC Alumni Association.